Greetings and welcome to the 1-6 Scale Man. Proudly presents another episode. You know what it is, man. This is, you know what I mean, comic book talk with friends on a Monday. I'm your host, Lael Rockwell, for the 1-6 Scale Man YouTube channel. Do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification so you are always up to date, of course, as to what we got going on over here on the channel, man. And we got a lot of things actually coming. A lot of things to basically talk about here tonight, man. There's a lot of discussions that's going to be ramping up. And it's going to be a good place, man. It's definitely going to be a good place to have everybody in here talking and chatting and talking about the things that we love best, and that's comics, man. But, you know, it's comics in the cinematic universe. But, you know, I'm not here by myself. I can't basically be here without the rest of the crew. Starting off with my man Prop. What's going on with you, bro? How you doing, man?
Just chilling, baby. Just living life, man. Glad to be here. Dude, this is the most awesome place to be. You got the most awesome audience and followers. They're all comedians. They be saying little funny stuff on the side. I love it. I'm here, baby. Thank you.
Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you, bro.
No autographs today.
No autographs today. Also, we got none other than Hoperticus. Y'all can choose to read the name if y'all want to. We got Hoperticus in the building, bro. What's going on with you, man?
Man, dealing with this little lag on my computer's got right now. I don't know what's going on.
I got you. Yeah, it's okay, bro.
Wi-Fi, but
yeah, it happens.
Hoping everybody can hear me, and I'll try to play around with that. And but
yeah,
okay. See, it's kind of going in and out like that.
Yeah, it's going in and out. But
just having a wonderful Monday. Hope you guys are having a wonderful Monday. Yeah,
man.
Other than that, man, I'm chilling. Hope you guys are doing good out there.
Yes,
dunked on some kids today. I played 4-on-1. They couldn't stop me. Unstoppable. Drop step, spin, pro hop to the lane. Man, listen, it's too easy.
Bro, you're gonna be dunking on mad kids pretty much all week because it's the final week of school.
It's the only way you learn.
Yeah, they want that. Yep. Mm-hmm. I'm sending you home for summer with them ankles broken. I'll give you ice pack.
I mean, you know what I mean? Like it happens, and that's just how it needs to be. Break them legs, teach them a lesson, and that's how it works. We got Vincent Dunn Art. He'll be here in just a moment. I think he's in the background handling some things. So we'll definitely get back to him in a minute, man. Everybody out there in the chat, thank you for being here with us this evening. Again, we got a host of different things that we're going to actually cover now. Before we jump into it, man, I got to say definitely what's up to the places, of course, where we get a lot of our collectibles and our comics, man. Starting with my man Ray over there at Underground Figures. That's Underground Ray all day, making sure that you have everything that you actually need. Again, it's no NRD. Shipping and handling is definitely reasonable. Sign up for that newsletter so you are always up to date as to when your new figure is going to arrive or there's going to be a new figure revealed. Also, create yourself an account because you never know when a figure choice might make itself basically on a discount run or when there's free shipping. So definitely hit him up when you're looking for a proud sponsor. This guy always keeps us rotated over here, man. Also, we want to actually give a super duper shout out to our guy Ray over there at Hawkwards Toys, and that's Hawkwards Ray. I mean, it's Cool Water Ray, Ray's Juke Joint. Any name you want to give him, he'll stick with it. Again, nice little care package. You get that figure, comic book stickers, the works, everything that you actually need to proceed. He'll make sure that you have everything. Again, proud sponsor for everything we got going on over there at the Figure Flex Friday Facebook group. If you haven't become a member, make sure that you sign up for your chance to win. I'm telling you, we got a lot going on over there, and your chances are really great. So definitely head on over there. Also, we want to give a super duper shout out to our guy, Jacob over there at Comic Relief Comic Collectibles. Again, if you are not only just looking for figures, but also physical media, because that's what it's about. He'll make sure that you have everything when it comes to physical media, everything when it comes to source material. Make sure you hit him up. His store hours are there. His email address is there. Phone number is there. If you need to contact him for anything, he'll definitely hook you up, as he always does. Also, we want to give a super duper shout out to our guy. We got Brian Wong over there at Maju Case Maju Space. Now, again, when you see these displays, it's not just about figures. Any type of collectible item that you actually have, you'll be able to display with his pieces. Again, I have the mono. You might want to actually get a display option of your choice. Head on over there, tell him I sent you. He'll definitely take care of you. Also, we want to give a shout out to El Deluvio. We are talking about Tina Cruz, my sister, making sure that she basically gives you everything that you need when it comes to different options. On top of that, she gives you great work. It's a great experience when you want to get the figure of choice rooted. Now, again, it is a list. She'll put you on the list, but she'll definitely get to you. And I'm telling you,
trying to get on that
phenomenal.
list, like trying to get into the Players Club. God
Yeah,
damn.
yeah. It's a list. It's a list, but that just tells you how high in demand she definitely is. But she does great and phenomenal work. And when she gets around to you, I'm telling you, it's worth the wait because she makes sure that you have everything that you need. I've gotten several pieces done from her, and it's been phenomenal. And I will always rock with Tina. So definitely make sure that you head on over there. And finally, you know what I mean, last but not least, we got my guy Vincent Dunn Art. Now, this is basically his store. You want to get in Instagram, get in his in the description. You'll see the link to the store that's right there. And he'll definitely walk you through everything. Vinny, you want to tell him about what's going on with you, bro?
Yeah, of course, man. I started painting this when
I
thought we agreed that I was the new Vinny. All right.
Proxy prop. Yeah, man. Just link is on my IG and always adding new stuff to the site all the time. I have like 3 or 4 pieces that I'll be adding to the site. If not this week, then right after the con I got coming up in Pittsburgh. So I have some new prints that'll be up there, and new album piece that just dropped. So I have a bunch of new stuff coming to the site. A bunch of new stuff I just loaded up to the site. Originals coming, and as always, if there's something that you want that you don't see, feel free to hit me up, and still have commissions open. So appreciate the shout out. Feel free to hit up the site for some prints and adorn your walls.
Hell yeah. Hold on real quick. I want to show the people something here. I mean, if you're watching, so this is Vincent Dunn Art. So this is the work that he basically does. If you're watching now, if you don't know who this is or what this is, you definitely shall know in a minute. I'm not gonna play the music, for copyright stuff, reasons. But again, when we're talking about just art in general, it's not just about what's on canvas, or basically he'll dip over in a book as well, as we've seen with a lot of Harry Potter pages. But he's also doing something like this, man. I'm telling you, again, great work. You're seeing him right here in action, giving us that Michael Jackson record piece, man. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that.
You about to blow up with this, man.
Look at that. Phenomenal, bro. Phenomenal. Look at that, bro. Like, you should have, bro, you should have just, you know what? You should have just put like a bottle. You should have put a bottle of TCB right next to it, bro. Curl activator, bro. I've been dope on that cover, bro. But nah,
Vinny, I gotta send you a video of when I was in high school. I dressed up as Michael Jackson, and I was doing the moonwalk on top of the lunch tables. I gotta see if I can find it. Very grainy, super grainy, but it's me.
Yeah. I believe it. Now you moonwalk and then dunk on cats. I understand. It's just it's still, yeah. I mean,
there's a progression. It's a progression.
You see,
life is a climb.
That's, bro, you are so cool because there's a video of me doing Chuck Berry in high school. That's how old I am.
Thank you, man. Appreciate the love. I'm having fun doing the album. The album joints. I have like more coming with those. I did a Nirvana, Biggie, Nas, Wu-Tang, and I have a bunch more coming. SZA, like I have some more of those coming, and I want to start doing like more other genres and stuff like that too. Eventually, I'd love to do a gallery and just have a themed gallery of just album art eventually. So we'll see what I can do about putting that together, and just keep having fun with it. I like just doing different stuff. I've never seen anybody do any I seen somebody do a landscape on a vinyl cover before, like mountains and stuff, and I was just like, well, what about the actual artist? And I googled it, and I didn't see anybody actually doing it. So, well, I'll do it then.
Yeah.
So I did Biggie first, and then I had fun with it, and I just kept going.
Yeah, definitely, bro. I mean, it's phenomenal. It's definitely phenomenal work. So again, we're talking about commissions on all scales. We're not just talking about, on canvas, but if you want certain things done, send him your album covers. He'll definitely do it. And you'll get great work like this. So again, head on over to Vincent Dunn Art on Instagram. You go into his description, you'll see the link to the store. Head on over there and support, man. As always, great work. As always.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah, man, definitely, bro. So we want to also give a shout out to the chat. Everybody that's here with us. We got Ghetto Yoda in the building. He said, yeah, bro. Yeah, he said that mask is fire. Mononoke, of course. We got my man Force in the building. He said a Marley, maybe.
Marley would be perfect. Yeah.
Ooh, a Marley would be dope, bro. Yo, if you have to, you know what? You should do Across the Spider-Verse album cover. Just put Hilberticus' face on it.
Yep.
Yeah, let's do that.
Nah, just make my face out of rolling papers, bro.
Yo.
I'm gonna draw a bloomer on zigzags.
Yeah. Pedro Lopez. He said Billy, maybe Billie Eilish.
Which Billy is
right.
Billy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Billie Eilish, maybe.
Yeah.
Where's the Dr. Doom record cover? And
MF Doom is coming.
MF Doom is definitely coming, man.
Yeah, MF Doom would be.
I already have the albums, so
yo, send me your address, man, so I can send you that Master Wiz album. Everybody's been asking for it. They're already asking for it, bro. I got you.
That Master Wiz. Make sure that you get that.
What's that one you got? I ain't gonna draw on that. Don't worry.
Only got one record, one vinyl.
We got my baby in the building, Latoya T. Thank you for being here, babe. We got Renz Talentino is in the building. He said Vinny L. Art. Who else we got in here with us? Let's see here. We got my man Dr. Data. He said 30 minutes late. Where's my baby? He said, where's my bag, y'all at? Hey, he's on vacation, bro. He's in Aruba with his wife. They're on I think that's their anniversary. So he's actually on vacation right now, but he'll definitely be back.
I could do an impression of him as well. Trash.
Yeah, trash.
I got it.
Trash.
Let there be anything wrong with that hotel. Hello?
Trash.
Front desk? Trash.
Just trash. Just trash. Hey, definitely, man. We got my man Christopher Greaves. What's up, fellas? Looking forward to this stream. That James Bond is fire. Yeah, the James Bond that they released today it's crazy, man. But it's crazy because
it's divisive.
It's divisive because of the choice, I think. Because they didn't start, you know what I mean? It's going to be divisive because of choice. Because the thing is, if you're introducing 007, you didn't specifically say which movie. You know what I mean? So if they would have did but also keep in mind, we're talking about Sean Connery. We're talking about Pierce Brosnan. We're talking about Roger Moore. A lot of these licenses, they're hard to come by. It's okay to have the
pass,
but you may not get the license to do this. So
and plus they're names from yesteryear. You know what I mean? Like these are iconic guys, but there's no motion currently in the zeitgeist for them. They're just iconic and they'll always be there. But when it comes to Hot Toys, what do we always say? Why does this figure don't get made? Oh, and then y'all go and say, "Oh, well, the film didn't do well," and well, the reason why they did Daniel Craig is the top 3 or 4 biggest grossing 007 films are his.
Right.
Yeah.
So in other words, suit decision. And I did see. I felt that with this release. It was this is suit saying this is the last movie. And you're right. You're giving them credit. This is the James Bond my son younger people grew up on. You know what I'm saying? And it was well done. So I'm
Don't
not
necess-
hating it all.
This is
I
not
just,
the some people prop when they hear that they think it's like translating like, oh, that movie's better than that movie. I
Right,
ain't saying nothing like that.
oh, it's just more popular though. I mean, it's
Yeah.
a different
It's
time.
more
period.
widely
You know what I'm
available.
saying?
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah,
The
different
It's a
different time
sign of the
period,
times,
widely
man.
available. It's a sign of the times. Those guys
Mhm.
that did that, Dr. No, all of the Sean Connery, all of that stuff, Octopussy,
Yeah.
all of that shit is
Yeah.
iconic. It's in
Right.
our zeitgeist.
Right.
So it's like those guys they're gonna get done at some point if they can be done. But why not go for the low-hanging fruit if the others are providing some sort of drawback for you in terms of getting it done, getting the license, and getting it done as quickly as possible? If
Right.
Daniel Craig's ready to go and the other guys aren't, myself as a business, I'm gonna do Daniel Craig because I know people gonna get that. You
Yeah.
buy into that Daniel Craig, that gives you a good chance to get that Sean Connery or that Pierce Brosnan.
Yeah.
Right. Roger
Yeah.
Moore, dog. I need a Roger Moore.
Right.
Exactly, bro.
Roger Moore. Just going all the way through it.
And
You
I
know,
think it
that-
these it
Also,
happened.
if
Yeah.
people put their money where their mouth is, on ladies on the table as well when it comes to these figures.
True.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's you got a point there. Like you're saying you want these things, but when they go up, are you willing, to put your money where your mouth is and buy these pieces? I mean, that's just the bottom line. I mean, they're not going to make them just for the sake of making them if there's no interest. You know what I mean? So always, keep that, in the frontal lobe as well. So, yeah, man. So thanks everybody for actually being here. Of course, this evening. A lot we're going to actually kind of cover and talk about here. But first on the docket, man, we want to talk about the artists. We want to always actually shed light on the artists. Now, here's the thing. Vinny, I don't know. Did we do David Marquez yet?
Definitely did not.
We didn't, because I was wondering, bro, because I checked back and I was like, I did not see anything that we've actually touched upon when it came to him.
Yeah.
And, I was just going through like a whole bunch of covers, especially some of my, classic X-Men run, not classic X-Men run, but the Uncanny X-Men run that I had. And I was like, okay, I'm looking for something that's going to be topical for what we're going to discuss later on. And I was like, okay, we didn't talk about this. From what I know, we didn't actually have a chance to talk about him. So I was like, all right, this would be the perfect opportunity, to kind of bring him up and kind of have that discussion. Now, if y'all out there wondering who we're actually talking about, and again, you already know why we're here. It's the artist. We always feature the artist of the week. And of course, if you don't know, now you know. We are talking about David Marquez, of course. Incredible artist, brings you some of the most prolific titles when it comes to X-Men, when it comes to Iron Man, even when it comes to Powers, a lot of MS Comics when it actually comes to Unchosen, just a couple of them, you know what I mean? A couple of, but notably known for like Powers, X-Men, Thor runs, stuff like that. Also, Ultimate Spider-Man. Roberticus, I ain't forget about you. So basically a run on that. Marquez has been doing some incredible work, and a lot of people may have a lot of those covers. I kind of latched on to him when it came to Uncanny. Uncanny X-Men, everything that happened even before Powers of X. He did actually touch what happened to Powers, a few runs of Powers of X, House of X. But yes, definitely an incredible artist. Benny, what up, man?
Yeah, a lot of his stuff I'm just adjacently familiar with because of seeing his stuff online or covers or scans from his books. As a lot of them are titles I'm just ridiculously behind on. So like the X books, I'm like years behind, and Miles and some of the other books I'm way behind on. But I see him, and I've seen his stuff, and I've seen a lot of the impact that he's had with over the years. Visible Iron Man stuff I'm familiar with that. But he has this very like unique style because it's not super technical, it's not super cartoony, and it's not super like dynamic or anything. But the compositions in some of his like his formats and his ideas and his creativeness I think is what takes what could be a more like a somewhat not mundane, but like more of a more of a toned down, not in your face style, and it gives it that boost. Like I don't think it's a necessarily uh super standoutish in any of the typical categories until you get to creativity and composition, and I think that takes the all the other attributes in it and it pumps them up. And I think a lot of his covers, a lot of his storyboarding of his work with that element to it, it helps his work so much. And I think that is why he's gotten so much work over so many different titles, because he's made quite a name for himself for bouncing around a lot of the big guns. Like he's said, Wolverine and Batgirl and Batman and Avengers and X-Men. So he's Spider-Man. He's hitting all the heavy hitters, and without being that like hot shot, type of artist. And I think the reason why he's getting so much work is because his style is more of a simplistic style that is probably able to get books out on time. And then he's creative enough that those books are interesting enough to read along with storyboard wise and composition wise, that he's able to be fast and flashy without time consuming technical pieces. So I dig his stuff, and I think that he's definitely one to watch for sure. So I'm sure a lot of people have his stuff, and I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with it, even if they're not familiar with it, if you know what I mean.
Prop, you familiar with any of his work, bro?
Dude, I'm not, honestly. I do have that Darth Maul, what is it, not red, white, and blue. There was a Darth Maul series that I know he did the cover to. I don't think he did any of the artwork inside. So I've seen his work with it, but even with that cover, I'm not, from his name didn't ring any bell. I had to look it up and see who he was, man. With that being said, super dope. Vincent said everything. I was going to use the same word he used, which is stand out-ish, which is not a word, but it's some kind of weird way I was going to use the same word that he used. But the artwork is simple, dude. And I've said that before with other artists, man. I like clean work. I'm so used to seeing real complex and detailed stuff that I still do love. But in my older years, dude, I think I appreciate this kind of more stylized, clean look. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, dude, but I looked at, there's a lot of Darth Maul. So there was one, the cover I got is the one with it's just Darth Maul face, and it was mostly black. Very, very simple cover. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. But in other words, it's dope. I hate, man. I had to go after Vinny on this. Vinny be so detailed. I feel like I'll be searching for words to say. It's like, yo, Wiz, man, you got to make it as detailed as the last guy. I can't do it. I just want to say he's dope.
Yeah, he definitely is, bro.
Yeah, this is the cover right here.
Yeah.
I like that. I fuck with that.
Yeah, it's definitely an amazing cover, bro. Is
that the regular cover or is that the Virgin?
It was a variant.
Okay. Yeah. I like that though. I like that. That's fire.
Yeah. Birdicus, man, your thoughts? You familiar?
Oh, of course, bro. Civil War II, Volume 5. Got that here on the wall. Yeah, much like kind of like Prop said, it's like very, very clean, but still stylized. Shout out to my man. He's done some of the more dynamic and interesting covers of Spider-Man, specifically Miles Morales, although he has had some takes with Peter Parker as well. There was the comic cover that I'm looking at right now where it's like Peter and Miles fighting, and Peter's like literally grabbing Miles's like suit and ripping that shit off of him. It's really, really cool. Simple, not a whole lot of stuff going on in the background. But exactly, those two. It's just them going at it. It just draws you in. Like, why is Peter fucking up Miles like this? Like, you just, the cover that's always what the cover's supposed to do. You're supposed to look at it, and it's supposed to spur this feeling of either curiosity, or just obviously just this feeling of exploration. You want to explore what is behind that cover. So yeah, Marquez has done a lot of great stuff. He's even done some great Star Wars covers. Obviously, we saw the Darth Maul one, but he did one with Leia. I believe it was Leia.
He did Leia, and he's also done Dr. Afra as well.
Yeah.
Afra as well. Yeah.
He did like a Leia, and there's like a bunch of people behind her and shit, like ships fucking flying over. She's like hands on her hips, looking that way. It was like he does it really dope and really cool, and it's not a whole lot of stuff where you get lost. And we do a lot of comics, but man, I'll tell you, I don't know if anybody in here has ever read a panel of this shit. One Piece, that shit, bro, when they get going on the damn like action, like it is hard to follow because it's just so much shit. So like comic book readers have it good because there's a little bit of less of individuality in certain cases, and it's more of people, and this is not a bad thing, it's not slating them, it's just people follow the formula. They have guidelines to work under and they do it. That is the same case with manga. But when you get up and you get going, like you can fuck them panels up. And you can really switch that book to your liking when you are iconic mangaka like Oda is for One Piece. But the art can get crazy, and I just appreciate comic book art like this where I can really just pay attention, see the details, and it doesn't have to be a whole bunch of other stuff to try to get my attention. The characters already do that. So that's the type of vibes I get from when I see Marquez's work. Mostly it's been covers. I'm sure I've read shit. I just can't fucking point to what was read. What was that? But I've seen this guy's art a lot. It's, I won't say like maybe like 10 years ago his stuff was more ubiquitous. But now I see a lot of like Kari Andrews, Chichito is out there, especially when it just comes to like Spider-Man stuff related. I know you guys hate him, but or dislike his art, but Scotty Young does a lot of Spider-Man stuff too. So like there's a lot of people out there that are like ubiquitous when it comes to Spider-Man covers and art and variants of the sort. But this guy Marquez, he was kind of like that about 10 years ago, especially during his runs with the Ultimate Spider-Man Miles Morales.
Yeah, bro.
You make a really good point because there are a lot of amazing artists who in an ironic way kind of detract from the story a bit because you're just sitting there in awe of the art and you're picking apart the art, checking out the art, and it's like, oh yeah, they're trying to tell a fucking story here, but I'm not even paying attention because I'm looking at all the detail and I'm like, oh, wow.
I don't want to get caught and lost in the art.
You're lost in
the context of the story. Yeah, exactly.
On my Mount Rushmore is like Steve Dillon and Gary Frank and guys like that who are really like fundamental type guys, but it's just stylized enough that it stands out and it's great looking. However, the whole point of their style is to storytell. You're trying to streamline and make the story super digestible. Bendis has such a knack for finding guys like Michael Gaydos and
I swear,
and
he just finds the right pairing to tell his stories.
Yeah,
he just finds that right art. It's like
man, like Mike Deodato and like Alex Maleev. Like Bendis never really wants somebody whose art is going to like run away with the book.
Yeah,
he wants it to keep going, and Marquez, I feel like this Marquez guy is like that's what he's going for, just like paying tribute to the story more so than the art.
Yes, just more towards the story, and also even the fundamentals of artistry in itself, making it speak. Like you said, the story he is so detailed and told through his pages, but also just it's not overly complicated, like you said in the very beginning, Vinny. It's there.
He don't like doing backgrounds.
It's there. You know what I mean? It's what is there is what is there on canvas. He wants you to focus on characters. It's the main focus is on the actual characters, and that's where he's at. You know what I mean? Like and there's
background's always light work. Background always melts with the color, but it's never like super detailed.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely, man. Like again, like you can even see with this, with the new era that started in 2024, how each individual, when they started after the effects of the fall of the House of X, is when they started putting the teams and stuff together. And you see how they have this, the different teams. There's more here. There's more teams than just what we see right now. And even since then, a lot of these teams have actually changed. You know, even with the X-Men titles with Kid Omega, if you don't know what's actually happening within the story, I don't want to give it away, but there's a lot that's actually happening right there as well. But again, here the only thing about it is like the X titles as of late have not been as interesting, to be quite honest. They haven't. And I think they're trying to find it. There's another event that's going to be popping off here real quick soon, but they just haven't been as catchy as, you know, maybe like some of the single runs, everything that's happening with the Phoenix right now, everything that's basically happening with Storm. That book has been amazing. But again, it's you know, them, you know, coming off the whole situation with Professor X, Prisoner X story that was actually told. You know, that was cool, but again,
I skipped it. You know how far behind I am with X-Men. I skipped ahead, and
there
isn't anything that it really was to write home about. It's very
no,
forgettable.
nothing that's basically writing home about at the moment. And again, there's an event that's happening. I mean, other than the simple crossover between, you know, everything that happened with the death of, you know, Peter Parker, what he was actually going through, and of course, you know, he had to fight. Well, not fight the Juggernaut, but the Juggernaut helped him. And then in that run, remember, Peter Parker became the Juggernaut, which was fucking funny, but it was dope as fuck to watch. But again, everything since that run hasn't really with the X-Men hasn't really been, you know, they're finding their footing, put it that way. I think, you know what? Everything that's happening right now to me that's spectacular is happening in the Ultimate runs right now. The Ultimate run right now is, yeah, ain't it crazy? Like the Ultimate run has been the best.
Ironically, they had an amazing opportunity for a really incredible Ultimate X-Men book with Peach Momoko, and she's writing fucking as Jason ain't here, but trash.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish they would have got another writer and just had her do the art, and now could have been an incredible X-Men book.
Exactly.
Yeah, it definitely could have been, man. So
you know,
here's the thing, because it just feels like Peach Momoko's story is completely separated from.
It's like a children's story.
Yeah, bro. And I'm just wondering, like, it is. So, especially if we're talking about everything that's happening within the universe, and they saying like there's only a few weeks, maybe a few months now before the Maker returns. How are you, you know, again, how are these stories? How does that story fit in with the story that's currently being told right now with Weapon X? It doesn't. There's no continuity there, and I'm guessing they're just letting her tell the story.
Ultimates. How do they even fit into what they got going on? What they're trying to do?
Yeah, it don't even fit into the other Ultimate. It's like its own thing. It's like somebody just like were afraid to tell her that she had to follow any. They were just like, I don't know, just do whatever. We don't quit. Like, you know,
make an X-Men story.
You want. It's so weird. Like she Ryan Johnson, the Ultimate Universe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty much. That's the whole thing. Like they're just, you just do what you want. Do what you want right now. Have a spin. We just, again, because they know what she actually did. You know, with the whole, what was it? What was that run that we were getting? I forget the name of the
Peach
run.
Momoko, she did?
Yeah, the X-Men titles that she was handling. What was it called?
I don't remember.
I have a few of them, but I stopped collecting them because I was just like, it just wasn't fitting in, you know. And it's not to take away from, you know, from as gifted, you know, but it's just the stories aren't really connecting to me as much. Yeah. Even though they're interesting, it's just no connection.
It all comes down to execution, man. Like if the execution is there, then we're in there, but it's just not well executed. Honestly, man. I read the first 8 issues. Yeah, I read like 2. I was like, nah, we're going back to the other shit. Honestly, the character that they really should put a lot more just like stake into is Magic. There's so much there to tell a great story about her, as well as alongside of the mutant race. Like I want to see more Magic in whatever X-Men properties we get moving forward. I'm not hearing a whole lot in terms of momentum when it comes to her comics, even though I did see her in the Eighth Deaths of Spider-Man. She was sitting down there with fucking the Juggernaut.
Yeah.
And then he just got up and then ran off. And it was like, where are you going? He's like, I gotta do something. He just pulled up on Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Like literally it was legit, almost like that's how it worked, like beat for beat, almost how it happened.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, man.
Dealing with the whole Sidorak story and everything that was happening, bro, was just like, yeah, I gotta go, I gotta bounce, I'll be back. And that's when the power was basically granted through influence. And I tell you, like the Ultimates, or pretty much that run, that Spider-Man run, bro. Not to digress too much, but it breaks you a little bit, because seeing him deal with the pain that he has dealt with, that we know he's dealt with for so many years, and wondering, and it got you to really, really understand why it is he laughs and he always cracks jokes so much. A lot of it is not just to throw his enemies off. It's because he's hiding a lot of pain that he still hasn't dealt with yet. You know what I mean? So definitely, man.
You have to think about all the trauma that Spider-Man has faced. Has he really had a chance to like sit there and like really like mold on it? No, some other fucking jackass is blowing up another building. I gotta go. Like there's not enough time for Spider-Man to go to therapy. That's why it was so fucking funny to see Spider-Man in therapy in the Spider-Verse film, because it's like, oh, let me guess, your uncle died. It's like they're playing on that trope, but it really comes from a place where it's like, damn, this individual, this character, has had so many like hurtful things happen to him, but is yet to really have the real time to like process it and truly move on.
You don't got time for that rent stew.
Yeah, that's just the way it is, bro. Like the rent is due. You know what I mean? You bring up a very interesting point. Like we don't have time, with any aspect of, dealing with that level of emotion. You're always on the go. So when you do get that downtime, or when you're forced to have that downtime, it's like everything becomes a revelation. When you're just like, nah, it's not a revelation to me. I've been dealing with this shit. It's just been on the side. I can't allow you to see it. I don't have
Peter,
time to deal with
he
it
a better
myself.
man than me, because the moment I miss a fucking bill, I'm thinking, I got web shooters and I can beat anybody's ass. I'm about to go rob somebody because I just missed my fucking bill. My life's gonna be off. He's a better person than me, because I'd be robbing motherfuckers out there.
Yeah, definitely, man. You already know.
At least doing wrestling, Randy Savage again,
See, that's what I'm saying. He's better than me, because he going through all these chambers of positivity before he get down into the gutter. I'm thinking gutter immediately.
Yeah, I might have to like join, UFC or something. I hold back, of course, but at least get that check.
Yeah,
gotta take care. I gotta fill my cup before I can pour into yours.
This is true.
This is true, bro. Like, and that's just the reality of it all. Like,
and that is why he is not Reed or Tony, because he has PTSD, and that motherfucker cares not for nothing but helping other people to a fault.
Yeah. I mean that's it.
It's so painful because he can be in those rooms with those guys. He can be in all of those rooms with the superpowered brains of the Marvel Universe and hold his own.
Yep. But Reed and Tony don't mind taking an evening to figure out some tech that'll save the world. Peter Parker is obsessed with the fact that somebody might be getting their pocket picked on the corner. And Tony and Reed don't give a fuck about them.
Nope. That's it. Nope. No. They don't. You know what I mean?
They're thinking grand scheme, and Spider-Man is like, there are people here.
Yeah.
It's always been that.
That's
it's always been about the people.
Yeah. So definitely, man, like I said, I mean, again, We're talking about David Marquise. Check him out. You know, get if you haven't already, if you're again you know, if you haven't, you got covers, you got stuff that's in your collection right now that you've been connected with, you know, that you have. So again, artist extraordinaire. Hope he keeps it up. Keep up the good work. Just wanted to kind of touch bases on a lot of stuff that he's actually done and continues to do. You know what I mean? So definitely wanted to give him a shout out, man. I wanted to move into this next space, man, real quick, because it was something that I wanted to talk about. And I was like, yo, have we actually had these conversations? Because I think it is a space that we have to think about it, because like, how much, put it this way, bro, like I question this because this has been happening lately. And part of me wants Marvel, mainly Marvel, to stop, to really stop doing this, bro. Because when you don't stop doing this, then we get garbage like this. When you don't stop doing this, we get these little subtle changes, you know, where yeah, bro, that's what I'm saying. When you don't stop doing this, you get something almost as controversial as this. You know what I mean? Like, it is, and I wanted to bring this up. Do you think, because we're seeing the reverse, where the cinematic universe should be taking cues from the comics and getting as close as possible, but not diverting from the actual storyline or the narrative. If there's certain stories that you can't tackle, I'm in a space that you just shouldn't do it. Because there are certain stories that are held so sacred. When you cherry pick and start pulling from different stories and putting it together, but then you're changing the character. Because here's the thing, I'm gonna give you a prime example. I wanted to bring this up here. It keeps blurring out. I don't know why, but it's the prime example as to what is currently happening in the cinematic universe. Now, you'll get the gist of it, but I just want to show you what's going on in a second here. It's not even gonna let me pull it up. But for instance, I'll give you an example. What's happening with the Thunderbolts right now? So if you're reading the current Thunderbolts run, that's highly affiliated with everything that's basically happening with, you know, One World Under Doom, and it changes. You're also seeing that, mind you, what we got a chance, and if you saw the post-credit scene, you know, you're seeing a post-credit scene, you can tell that the cinematic universe is influencing the comic book universe, because you're seeing characters that you would never basically see together, of course, when the Thunderbolts, and how the Thunderbolts were originally versus how they are now, and how the writers, you know, how, you know, again, I don't know if it's just Disney persuading, because they actually have majority share in Marvel itself, to say, okay, this is what we need y'all to do. Because post-credit scene, what did we see? That's exactly where the star was on Bucky's suit. Red Guardian, you know, US
agent.
Yeah. You know what I mean? We're seeing the only person, I mean, of course, we know that, you know, what they did with Black Widow, so that's a totally different story. And of course, if y'all already know in the comics, yes, Black Widow and the Winter Soldier are a couple. They're banging. You know what I mean? They've been doing it for a minute. But I want to start with you, Roberticus, first, because this is a very interesting topic. Do you think that Marvel or the comic universe should be solely, in my opinion, I think it should be separated. I don't think that it should be influenced by what's happening in the cinematic universe, because when you go through so many metamorphoses and changes, you take away from the storyline, in my opinion. What's your thoughts on it?
I'm like two ways about it. It's like, one, there should be a way that we could, I don't know, make a pathway easier for casual fans of Marvel who just watch on, you know, the big screen, to be able to have some type of reading material. We talked about this before. You know, the reading guides are interesting to people who are already readers of some sort. When you have people who are not reading and you tell them, all right, bro, you gotta go get this and this and this and this and read all, like, that's intimidating for some. So I kind of look at it in terms of providing reading material to, keep them within the universe of Marvel, whether if it's on the big screen or in the comic book. On the other side, it also stands a way to kind of take away that spark of which we love comics for, because the medium is so as opposed to cinematic medium or just TV or movies, there's a lot more creative license that can happen on those panels. A lot of creative license that can happen between characters, on these comics, because of the fact that some of these characters haven't been established on the big screen at all. So the comics make it so that those stories can go on unfiltered, unbothered by other outside sources. So I feel two ways about it. But I think if there's one that I would pick that I would feel more strongly about, is keeping the comics separate from the material. It actually makes it more interesting when you go and look at the comics, and it's not just like the movies. You get a chance to see a different story, just like the Infinity Gauntlet or Saga, however way you want. I think it's Saga for movies, and then like I don't know, fucking whatever, but just the whole Infinity Gauntlet, right? And how different that went down, all the way to the person who snapped it. It was two different people that snapped it. They did like the Hulk and the Iron Man thing was two different people, but it wasn't the person who did it wasn't even established in the film yet. In the comic, he did it, but Adam Warlock was not there. He was in a fucking cocoon when they did all this shit in the movies. So that's kind of where I lay in terms of just how strongly I feel about it. Keep them separate, because it keeps that wonder for people who are going to be new readers to come in and say, oh, I just watched those films. How different is that? That is almost kind of like what a historian does, or archaeologist, or anybody who makes comparisons or make contrasts through history or through different mediums. It's one of the more interesting things you can do within your own mind is to take one piece of existing media versus another piece of media that covers the same topic, and to make your own assumptions, your own opinions about that. That's how you get to the kind of like the middle of the universe in my mind. That's how I see it. So you're getting to the middle, like where you should want to exist. Not here, not there, those two extremes. Like you really want to exist here, because that's where the truth lies. Everything else is just noise.
Yeah.
Putting that on the t-shirt, bro.
Prop, your thoughts, man.
Likewise, man, kind of going over the same thing, dude. I've said before on this show, I'm a movie head as well as a comic book fan. So I really look at the mediums as something different. It goes with novels as well. You know what I mean? I've read books. I've read Ready Player One. I love the book, but I love Spielberg. You know what I'm saying? So I love what he did in the movie. I love the changes. A big one in terms of the realm that we're in was Watchmen, right? Like the whole ending of Watchmen was different from the movie, the Zack Snyder movie from the comic book.
Yeah.
And I really, I remember being, comic book heads being upset about that change.
Yeah.
But I remember sitting in the movie theater and just being refreshed, because I got 90% of what I expected from the comic book. And then I got a surprise ending. You know what I mean? This climax. And guess what? It didn't erase the comic book. You know what I'm saying? Because the 300 was the same thing. 300 was so perfect to the comic book that there was scenes. I remember the scenes in the movie when everybody was hanging from the tree.
Yeah.
Felt like it was from my memory of the comic book. And then I went back and read the comic book, and it's like that scene isn't even in there. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
And I use those examples as and I know people love to love or hate Zack Snyder. I know this can be a divisive name, but just in those two movies it was so true to the material that he was able to make changes. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like Marvel hit that. I always say, if I give a general summary or hear a general summary from someone who hasn't watched the movie, it sounds like the comic book. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
like you
Yeah.
said, it's just a hero. It wasn't the exact. It wasn't Iron Man that snapped in the comic book, but there was a hero. There was a character that snapped and did this away. A lot of the things, the overall idea of it, translated, and of course we got some material that translate almost exact. Like I feel like Deadpool is almost there. You know what I'm saying? Like in terms of costuming. I saw you brought up the X-Men example where it was like some of the characters look different. We got the Adam Warlock,
bro,
different.
like it because I brought it up specifically with the X-Men, man, because I'm sorry, it's an example of what we got and what we expected versus what we got in that city. Because here's the thing, because you started seeing even after the movies dropped the costumes, and again, because there was and I can pull them up, I just refuse to, but where this and the way this looks bled into the comics. And I'm like, bro, I hate the motorcycle leather, bro. I hate it with a passion, bro. And I understand there are certain liberties that you put it this way. If you're going to do your own interpretation, that's fine. But anytime that is allowed to bleed over into the comics, bro, and even right now, and I was bringing up, when I was, looking at, and I was actually talking about even Shang-Chi. Right now, in the comics, he has the 10 rings. Like, this is what they've done. Like, he has the 10 rings in the comics right now. You know what I mean? So that's how much that has actually bled into the comics. You know what I mean? This is what they've given him. So again, I it's just my opinion, and I just don't feel as though it needs to.
Well, we had Superman. Right? Remember the Man of Steel run?
Yeah.
Back in the 80s, right? When they rebooted Superman. For those of you that know, DC did an almost complete reboot of the series starting from, day one. So you had that Man of Steel comic book.
Yeah.
And I remember, right. I remember how much of it was like the Christopher Reeve Super. There was a lot of stuff that was different, but I remember it being a merge almost of what we knew from the movies and what was in the comic book. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
With some big changes, if I remember correctly, his parents stayed alive. It was some changes, you know what I'm saying? But it was definitely, you could tell where they were, because at that point, the movie was probably more popular than that comic book. You know what I'm saying? If I remember correctly, DC comic books period were struggling at that time. So some of these movies and TV shows were a little bit more popular, especially that Superman movie. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure 89 Batman, I remember the comic books. It's hard to say because you had Death and you had some comic books that were dark right before that, but I do felt that they kind of leaned into it where the cape and cowl became more black with slight blue highlights. You know what I'm saying? After the Batman 89 Batman movie, and then of course X-Men itself, the black leather look probably came from Batman. You know what I'm saying? Because we got suits behind the scenes saying, okay, you know how we made this less campy? We made Batman black. You know what I mean? He had a black suit and everybody was wearing black. We had the Crow. Everything that was coming out was dark, right? Up until probably up until Spider-Man came out, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Like most of the movies had some kind of dark, not counting the ones that flopped like Rocketeer and all that stuff. Everything was going this route for years and years and years. And again, man, the biggest jump that I said, because I'm saying Deadpool was comic book accurate, but I feel like the look was. That was the most. When I saw Deadpool, when I remember seeing the cinema when they dropped that leaked them cinematics back in the day, bro. That was like, if they make that is the most comic book accurate thing.
See, you're describing my era of which I was conceived, my man. Like
really.
That's the Edge era. You know what I mean? Spawn.
Yeah. Oh,
these are dark stories. And I think it just further to your point, all of this stuff is in the Blade. All of this stuff is in the zeitgeist. And that kind of just go. I can see how that can go into a costume designer's mind and say, yeah, I think we need to go that route. Batman,
right?
Blade, all those movies that we've mentioned, how they were successful, and how did they take their earlier iteration that was campy. We all love Adam West because Adam West put, as far as and visually, put Batman on the map. So, you know, but there was always like, how do you do that in a new age? And we
Yeah.
obviously got to see, of course, Batman '89,
Right.
and those films, and then that kind of lead into the Nolan films. You see,
Yeah.
I'm skipping the mother.
Right.
But yeah,
But you know, and also you got to keep in mind, like I said, once DC did the whole New 52 reboot as well, that
Right.
bled
Right.
off
That's true.
into what we actually started seeing in the cinematic universe with certain characters, even by
Mhm.
Suits itself. And
Uh-huh.
but again, we started seeing how those suits from the cinematic universe kind of bled off. It was just I've always been of the mind that again it just should separate. That's the only thing, and it's
Yeah.
But Leo, I feel like Vinny was about to say something, but I'm just thinking, like, isn't it like a snake eating its own tail type situation, or chasing its own tail, or a dog chasing its own tail type of situation, where it's like one begets the other, like they can't exist
yeah, man.
without the
Well,
other.
not only
Now
that,
we are in this.
you can't. So basically, the cinematic, of course, we know that the cinematic universe, and right now,
mask.
whether people choose to realize it or not, you know, comic books right now are still struggling. Like they are
Correct.
really taking a
Correct.
hit, like majorly a hit.
Manga
You know what I
still
mean?
smoking them.
Yeah. So it's
People rather read Sakamoto
Dude,
Days
I've
than
seen
pick up a Spider-Man book.
Yeah,
Telling you.
in the bookstores, man. At least the bookstores here. We got a store called Second and Charles here. Books
we
a
used to
Million.
have one here, but they knocked it down.
Really? Yeah. I've noticed that the comic book section has been shrinking. In this is just graphic novels, of course. You know what I'm saying? But dude, I remember where they would have 2 or 3 rows of these things. And dude, I went in Second and Charles the other day, and they had narrowed it down to 1 row, and I couldn't find Moon Knight. There was certain comics I wanted to catch up on. I couldn't even find certain stuff in there, man. So yeah,
listen, like it's not all of the comic book industry's doing, although they've had a part in it. There are so many factors that are into this right now, but the largest factor really that affects all of these mediums is the fact that motherfuckers are reading less. And not only are they reading less, but they're reading at a lower grade level. My 4th graders across America, 4th graders are reading at a 2nd grade level right now.
Yeah.
2nd grade. That's 2 years under them.
Yeah.
My kids ask me, what time is it? I say, look at that clock. I don't know what that is. They can't tell time.
Right.
Yeah. Because it's not being
so social media, bro. You know what I mean? You look at you got the time, the clock is on your iPad or your iWatch, or your cell phone. Your stories you don't have to read, bro. You can go on a YouTube video that tells you what
this digital space is basically what forces. I'm gonna get to Vinny real quick, man. What are your thoughts behind this, man?
It's one of the biggest pet peeves I have with the comic book industry, and it's something that I truly feel has to come from up top, and something that they're just having to abide by. And it's one of the most frustrating things because you're telling comic book creators that they have to placate and pander to comic movie film goers who look down their nose and snub comic books in general.
Yep.
Like if you
that's my point.
Hey, if you suggest a trade paperback or a certain comic that a film is referencing, they'd be like, what? Like, I'm not reading. Like, it's something that they enjoy profusely, like have posters on the wall, like are all about it. They got tattoos of it, but yet the thought of reading the comic that the shit came from is just like an obscure concept to them. And yet the fucking readers have to go out of their way to twist what they are doing in their art form, their source material, the shit that they are creating and getting borrowed, if not stolen from. They have to go then change what they're doing to placate the film. The film is doing. It's insane to me because you have. Like you've never heard of a book going back and saying, oh well, they switched up Jurassic Park, or like Prop said, Ready Player One or the Harry Potter books, all those movies made slight, if not major, changes. You never seen a fucking reissue of a book with anything other than a cover change.
Right.
You damn sure didn't see the text in the book change to mirror what changes they made in the film. You're supposed to go, and any reader will tell you like, oh, the book is better, and then you're supposed to go and pick up the book and then like be wowed and appreciate all the differences and find out how much more you probably would like the source material because of its creative and true nature, and then become a fan then. But like if you're going back and then saying, oh, this was this way, and then it changed this way, and then they made a movie, so they changed it, and then the movie got another reboot, so then they changed it again. That is absolutely insane. The creative aspect of the comic book nature is where all these stories derive from. It does not go the other way around. Like unless we're talking about a comic book adaptation, where it's a comic book based on the film, like the '89 Batman book or some of the other books, or like there's a
which by the there was differences even with the novelization.
Yeah, but like
movie.
I get those, like they have a place. I'm not talking about those. Like those are great and they have a place, and yeah, even those have some changes too. And there's even comic book runs that are fine. Like there's runs that were based on some of the cartoons. There's comic book runs that are based on like the Avengers films. That's not what I'm talking about. But the core, the main 616 books should not be taking direction, because that is a slippery slope. Like I don't want to see the comics change Ultron's creator to Tony in the fucking comics. That's sacrilege. That's absolute blasphemy. Like I don't want that. It's bad enough to me. I feel like one of the most insulting, disgusting, ridiculous things in comic book history is fucking changing Wanda and Pietro to Inhumans. Those are fucking
fierce. Bro. And that shit pissed me off so fucking bad, bro.
And then look at it now.
And then they had to change it back.
Now Fox is owned by Disney, so now you don't have to worry about it. Now we're going to change it back. Like that's that dumb shit. Because who is going to go see? Like I guarantee you, there's nobody who is going to go see the film and then going to pick up a comic and say, "Oh, they're Inhumans, they're not the mutants." Okay, wait, what? Like it's too. No one gives a shit. Like they don't care. There's nobody who's picking up a comic book and expecting exactly like it was in the movie. Like everybody knows that the shit is changed to be like no one is picking up a comic book and expecting Wolverine to wear the black suit, because most people haven't seen pictures of Wolverine in social media or whatever like that, and know he wears yellow, and just know like, okay, it made sense for the 90s for them to be too scared to give them their comic book suits, whatever. But like I'm not trying to see the comic books placate to a general audience. Like there's a reason why Wolverine had to wear a biker suit. It's because your 60-year-old grandfather turning on the TV might think it was too fucking weird and change the channel if he was wearing a yellow fucking spandex back in 2000. Now that's not fair. It's not true. It's not what we want to see. But they're not thinking about us when they make these movies. They're thinking about the millions of other people who are going to spend their money on it and they have to convince them when they figure we'll watch it no matter what, but they won't. So we have to fucking cater to them. But it's the other fucking way around when it comes to the actual comic books. That's where you can't cater to the casual fans, because catering to the casual fans is how you lose the people who are cashing.
That's how we got here. That's why we're here now.
That's why we're here, because it's way too many events and stories and gimmicks that were made for people who aren't readers. And then here's the dumb shit. You just took for granted that your readers will stick with you no matter what, and you lost readers along the way. And this is not to get in, like fucking Van Scrivener or other like people who've gotten a lot of trouble territory, but they've made a lot of changes to try to draw in audiences who aren't typically comic book fans, and they've made decisions to try to like bring in as many people as possible. And majority of those decisions were great, but some of those decisions were all absolutely like business type moves, not creative types of moves. And that mixed with like Hollywood shit, and it's all like when you're going down a checklist of corporate shit that you got to make sure is in your book, and before you get to the creative shit that you want to create in your book. That's why we're where we're at. And you could tell the difference between Independent or Image or other titles where there's no fucking suits telling them different shit that they got to make sure is included, and corporate sponsors included, and fucking different things included in order to make their book happen. They just fucking go and put out what they want to see. But then you got to tell people that, oh, we got to make these people mutants versus these people Inhumans. You got to make Miss Marvel an Inhuman because we don't want her to be a mutant. Oh, wait, now you got to make her a mutant again. It's ridiculous. They got so many rules. It's hard enough to write these stories. It's hard enough to sell these books, and they have all these masters to follow, and it's insane. Now, there's absolutely, I'm sure, an exception or two to the rule. Like, I'm sure there's an instance or several of them taking something that was really cool that worked for film and throwing it in there, especially if there's a character that was hot because of movie, like adding Thanos to more comics while Infinity War is out because he's a hot character right now. Like that is a different story. But changing, like, don't change the shit up and, you know, to a drastic degree, especially shit that's sacred. If you change up some characters maybe that aren't really that important or relevant, or like you want to change something minor. Fine.
This right here, this is the biggest thing that pissed me off about the cinematic. This right here, right? I was done. I was. It was a wrap for me, bro. When I did to do this to Adam Warlock, bro. This is still them changing something from the comic books for the film. They didn't go push that shit back and make Adam 15, 20 years old in the comics because he was in the film. That's that shit that's absolutely insane to me. You're supposed to go and I just feel like they really are struggling to come up with what they need to do, and doing shit like that, like especially the Wanda and Pietro shit, is absolutely
it's
one of my biggest pet peeves. I hate that shit.
Yeah, what they did there, bro, is, and the thing is, this man, look, you know, like, you know, Herberticus, like he said, I mean, we know that right now, the comics, because of the peril that they're currently in, you know, pretty much the IP itself is just depending off of what residual gain we get from the cinematic universe that's going to continue to fund these pages. Because like I said, people aren't going out buying books as much. And a part of that is because, again, this whole digital scheme. People feel as though they don't have to buy it when they can subscribe to a digital landscape and just read books that way. You know, so physical media is definitely in danger. We already see that right now with CDs. You know, companies are saying that they're done making CDs or not doing that anymore. Next, I'm telling you, an unfortunate space to be in, unless shit changes. You know, comics aren't like vinyl at this particular point. You know what I mean? People just feel as though that the cheap way out, the cheat code is this digital landscape, and they'll do that. We need to continue to support. And how we support is support the stories that are being told on the fucking pages, not what's being changed and disbuilt, you know, dwindling down from the cinematic universe into this, bro, because a lot of stories, a lot of dope stories are suffering. You know what I mean? We saw that with fucking secret invasions. It was an incredible story that was told. That was fucked up. Claremont already said, you know what? Part of him doesn't want them fucking with anything that has to end up. Do you blame him though? No, you can't. You can't. When there's certain changes that are happening, but it's like, what do you fucking do, bro? Like they don't. You know, and we're not the suits, so we can't control what the fuck they think. Right. We can be vocal about it, but they're seeing dollar signs, and that's all it's about. Yeah. And you're gonna do what the fuck we want y'all to do because we have the money. You need our money, so let's go. And that's fucked up. Here part of it. Part of me understands. I understand that it was an executive's decision that needed to be made to keep the shit alive. So again, it was divvied between these particular companies. I wish there was some independent funding that would have came in and said, you know what? Nope, we'll help. We'll do what we can do for the time being. Just keep it, because now when you have portions of it with Universal, you have portions of it with Fox,
Warner Brothers,
Warner Brothers. That's you have portions of it that's currently right there. Still, with Universal and Sony. You still have that right now, bro. It's going to be a constant tug of war. But we see in the cinematic universe of Spider-Man, the only way that they can make a film is if they actually bring in a Marvel included character from the MCU cinematic universe. And I think that right there is an anchor in stories that could be told. And because of that now, a lot of that shit is being bled into the comics, bro. I hate it.
Dude, and you know what's crazy? Because it's not because I'll repeat, with certain movies did spark interest in comic books. People don't talk about that a lot, but there are,
and there's a reverse effect, and I understand.
Yeah, right. With that being said, though, to y'all point, because even the digital, somebody said, I love comic books, I love physical media, but even comic books, the collectability, the value of comic books have gone down. You know what I'm saying? Like, people need to understand that Superman, our action comic #1 is worth a lot of money because there's not a lot of them. You know what I'm saying? They're Walking Dead #1 is worth a lot of money because there's not millions of copies of this out there. You know what I'm saying? So the value of comics did go down because they've been printing more. You know what I'm saying? And you got collectors like us that keep them in better condition. There's a whole story behind, so I get the digital thing. I don't like the digital thing, but the digital and the going away of physical media should have nothing to do with putting good stories down.
Shouldn't.
And again, I think all four of us then said it in some shape, form, or fashion. There's a beauty to having a difference, Like, I enjoyed watching Batman and then collecting, because I was collecting comic books before, but I went heavy after the '89 Batman, and I enjoyed that it was a different experience than the movie. You know what I'm saying? Because one thing Batman never did, Batman never made the Joker kill Batman's parents in the comic book. You know what I mean? They kept it. Was it Joe Blow? I forgot what the guy, Joe Chill, right? They kept it that way. You know what I'm saying? And it was a different experience having the Joker origin story and the Killing Joke in other comics. It was, you know what I'm saying? So, dude, it's kind of weird that they're leaning on that. This is news to me. I haven't seen it fully. Like, just hearing that they took the Scarlet Witch is not related to Magneto. If I'm
this happened years ago, bro. This happened like maybe back in 2015, 2016, around
but
that
because of because of the movies.
Yeah.
Like, so, man, dude, I hate that, yo. I think
it was the dumbest thing that they could ever done. And then once they acquired Fox, now they have to change that shit the fuck back. Instead of being patient, they just decided to basically make them Inhumans, and now we're basically getting into a space where they changed that. We saw that with the whole Krakoan era, that they changed that and reverted back. So, bro,
so is it not
on bigger scale too? We've also seen Disney put a chokehold and throttle the creation of mutants in the comics, because every single mutant that they were creating was able to be used by Fox on screen. So they kind of put a stifle on the comics, momentum, because they were fueling their competitors, film division. And then they did the same thing for Fantastic Four. Like, that's why that book they put the kibosh on that book so many times, because they were fueling Fantastic Four stories for Fox. It's such an insane, like pipeline of drama and mess and clusterfucks that hopefully is reduced now because they own Fox, but we're still seeing it in a different way now. Now we're like, even though everything except for rare exceptions like Hulk and Namor is in-house, we're still seeing them grasping at straws by putting some of the ideas on film into comics that aren't better ideas. It's not even better ideas that, oh man, we should have done this, that was great. No, it's catering to people who are moviegoers hoping that they come and pick up a comic, and they're not going to.
That era is, you're right, because I do want to rephrase. I felt like movies did spark people interest, but you're absolutely right. It happens less and less, again, because of the reasons that we already said. You know what I'm saying? It used to be a time you would watch a movie and you would, Spider-Man being an example, because I remember going in the comic book shop and all the Spider-Man titles would be gone. You know what I'm saying? Where I actually had to get me a subscription to make sure I got
still took them all. He bought them up. He bought them up.
Yeah, dude, I knew it was. He said he came
up.
Hey, Ghetto Yoda said trickle down comics, man. I like that.
Trickle
I don't know
down
what it
comics,
means,
bro.
but I know what it means when you said it, bro.
Trickle down comics, bro. You already know, man. But anyway, man, I just wanted to kind of touch on that because I just think they need to stop doing it. Hopefully they, I can't, I think it's too late in the game right now. They won't do it unless something changes. But again, it's just, it is, I'm right there with you, Vinny. It's one of the biggest fucking pet peeves that I have. I can't deal with it anymore. But anyway, I kind of want to switch gears, go to this now. Of course, we know that the rumors have been laid to rest. She is basically right now filming Daredevil Born Again. However, there have been 2 individuals that have been, by rumor has it, cited in New York City. And I know this is going to piss a lot of people off, man. It's going to make some people happy, but it's going to piss some people off. So, again, we could be getting the Defenders back together. When asked why Michael Coulter was in New York, he didn't, no comment. He would just, he said it was a meeting or whatever, or he didn't say anything. He just whatever. But also, Finn put up on Instagram or something like that, a ticket of him headed to New York City. Bro. So people are going to be excited about Mike if that happens, right? But with this Finn thing, man, you already know how motherfuckers is going to be, bro. Unless it's a story that's written better, unless they make him less whiny, and unless he's been taking some martial arts that we don't know about for like the last couple of years, bro. Unless this motherfucker's been in the dojo every fucking day, yeah.
Every day.
I think a lot of people are gonna be like, "Oh man, no, we cast him," but they ain't gonna do that. That's definitely not gonna happen. First, I want to touch on this first. I know we talked about it briefly before, and I don't even know if I got you. I think I got your thoughts about I wanted to bring this up. You did this right here. And we saw this. This is basically from the Defenders itself. Vinny, like I said, right now, bro, we live in a land that unfortunately there's no such thing as surprises, bro.
Nope.
Everything is open. It's a wide open landscape that you can open up social media and you see this shit every fucking day, right? You go to YouTube, you see this shit every fucking day. And of course, in our line of work, especially my line of work, that I'm a content creator, I have to be on fucking YouTube. So unfortunately, I see this shit every single day. So this right now is, and instead of just them saying, hey, we're just going to wait, we want to just, surprise and shock, the shock and all be definitely better. They just said, nah, we're just going to put it all out there. Now, again, it hasn't been officially confirmed yet, but come on, man. We know where the fuck is going. It's definitely going to happen. Vinny, I know it pisses you off when we talk about like this, is it because right now, bro, it's definitely looking like a sign of desperation. Not because we don't want to see it, because I would love to see them back together. I can't wait to see the Defenders back together. But for them to basically put it out there already, it just feels like it's a sign of desperation, man. What's your thoughts on it, bro?
I wish they would have used some of that desperation to get these motherfuckers in the studio 3 months ago and had them be in the final scene. We need an army, and then they got fucking Cherry and fucking the bartender and like the janitor, and it's like nobody's scared. Nobody's worried about these clowns. Like nobody gives a shit. They could have had anyone, at least one of these cats in that diner when he came out there. He could have had somebody out there. They could have showed the Defenders at the end of that episode. Would have had people so hyped for season 2. So instead of capitalizing on that on film, they do what they always do. They fucking use social media. It's almost like the movies are trailers for Twitter.
Yeah,
I'm sick of it. It doesn't make any sense. It's yet another pet peeve. Like, you are more worried about your clicks and the views and YouTube and all that shit instead of the actual films, and then you wonder why people aren't going to the theaters.
Yeah,
you wonder why people aren't tuning in. It's because why would I tune in if I'm only partially interested when you tell me everything that I partially want to know? Yeah. Unless I'm a diehard fan, all the shit that is like I can learn to keep up with at least the common knowledge and the memes and like clip notes I can get all on social media because you are telling me everything I need to know without ever having to actually click play or go buy a ticket. And it's so annoying because you had the perfect opportunity at the end of season 1 to set up season 2, and now we're going to have season 2 set up with social media instead of set up by season 1. And they were filming season 1 for a very long time. They could have had them in there at the end to set this up. It's annoying. They had plenty of time. Shit, they restarted.
Yeah,
They filmed a bunch of episodes and restarted. You had plenty of time to bring them in. As for Finn, I hope he the next post is a ticket to like a receipt for a martial arts class or Brazilian jiu-jitsu or some kind of I doubt he's thrown a punch in 4 years.
This is true. This is true. I doubt it. And this is the thing is like, bro, unless it's something that has always been planned and we just didn't know. We know that they probably approached a lot of these people, you know, about it. But here's the thing. And another thing I wanted to kind of touch on here too, after we go rounds, season 1 of Daredevil Born Again didn't even make it on Nielsen charts, bro.
Didn't.
At all. It didn't make it on the charts. And I think a lot of it had to do with the reworking. A lot of it did, but it didn't even make the charts. But we'll discuss that in just in a couple seconds. Prop, what do you think about this, man? What do you think about this news that, again, we could be seeing a Defenders unit? No, not could be. I believe we are going to see a Defenders reunion in season 2. But I agree with Vinny. They should have just showed us that shit. You know, it would have been dope to see at least a tease of that, you know, for the final episode.
Well,
you know?
because we saw it laid out that way, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
because you were giving us Easter eggs. We were seeing signs of Iron Fist Iron Fist and Luke Cage.
Right.
You know, we were seeing all that stuff before already.
So what I have a feeling is that a great deal of season 2 is going to be the building of the team. I feel like he announced we need to get people together, and I think they're going to stretch it out. You know what I'm saying? Putting this team together. But I think it's dope, man. I really loved Luke Cage. One of my favorite shows. I have never really put feelers out there to see what other people felt about it, man. But it had the hip hop, it had that Harlem culture, dude. It just felt like a show that was for us. You know what I'm saying? To be honest with you, and it was done in a way, and it just wasn't done corny, bro. You know what I mean? Yeah, and we even got a scene of a comic book accurate Luke Cage costume even in it.
Yeah, right.
Easter egg, man. So, dog, old boys martial arts, just like you guys said, man. Iron Fist, dude. I like continuity. You know what I'm saying? If he can bring it, I'd rather them have replaced him or not even bring him back at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love continuity so much. I would have rather them not even have brought him back. With that being said, dude, I hope he brings his A game. I've seen some interviews where he really wants this, whether he puts that work in or not, or just give me an awesome stunt double. You know what I'm saying? Just give me.
Yeah.
You got to do something, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because that is some of the worst martial arts, man.
Bro, you know, you said that with so much conviction, bro.
Oh my! Because I just remember because he was talking. He was talking a good game the whole, you know what I mean, the whole season. It was like, yo, he about to do something.
Yeah.
Oh, that fight is whack. They saving it for the end. You know what I'm saying? That dude never. But anyway, man, I'm happy, man. And what you were talking about in terms, man, I'll throw out one of the reasons I think the ratings were low as well. Not the reason why it was low, but I would say I felt like Netflix. Dude, they got a bad deal with this, bro. Because I feel like Netflix really, really handled this property well. And, you know, now they handed it off to Disney. And unfortunately, I think there's a lot. I don't know what the other shows on Disney are doing, but I know Disney right now has a lot of haters, bro. Like where I'm out in the South, I ain't going to speak the reason, but Disney is like a no-no. Like everybody I talk to, if I say, yo, this show was great, it's on Disney, they just kind of make a face, and a face, a subtitle. I'm not, you know. So anyways, I think it's dope.
Of course, we already know. Birdicus, man, what's your thoughts, bro?
I'm really excited to see this group once again. Yes, there are some reservations in terms of their first iteration, but I think a lot of what the consternation between when it comes to the last episode, and also just not seeing a whole lot of any other characters really outside of the few that they wanted to show us in terms of vigilantes and mention to us. As we know, New York is such a sprawling place when it comes to superheroes. I mean, this is the epicenter for a lot of superheroes in Marvel. So for to see all of this stuff going on with the city and not really see two hinds or hairs of anybody else other than Daredevil, definitely did feel jarring, knowing the universe and knowing that specific area in the universe, and regardless if it's MCU or comics, like you take your pick, there's still a lot of people like operating in the city, in the New York City. So that was definitely jarring, but I'm hoping that they bring their A game. I know Jessica Jones, people love that. Obviously, like Prop was saying, I didn't really I guess I fell off. It wasn't because I didn't like it, but I just fell off, and then I don't think I finished season 2 of Luke Cage. To be honest, I can't really remember it.
I did. I loved it, bro. I mean, I love. Here's the thing, because I just love
first
Luke
season
Cage,
was
bro.
immaculate to me. So
yeah,
I'm pretty sure the second season couldn't really let me down too much.
Right.
Nah, it was.
It had Old Boy in it, right? With the green eye. What's my man that was in that Love Hurts movie?
Oh
man, that dude, he raps too. He does music. You heard him rap? Dope artist, bro. All the way around.
I know season 1 had Mahershala Ali.
He was done.
Yeah.
No, he wasn't that.
He'd be great if they did. You wanted to use him for something else in Marvel. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Too soon, Vinny. Too soon.
That was too soon.
More like too late.
He's still hoping. I know.
Too late.
Too soon.
Too late, yo.
Yeah. It is. I mean, it is what it is, man.
Yeah,
like
that's kind of where I'm at with this. Lael is just like, I'm excited to see it. I enjoyed Daredevil this season. It's really more of like a setup season than anything, just getting everything set up. Because I think we're really going to see Charlie Cox and his character Matt Murdock really get pulled down to the darkest depths of what that character has known and has felt. We've already seen, Charlie act his way out of a lot of those deep, dark, like existential moments for Matt Murdock. So it's going to be interesting to see when he goes back down, because he was already kind of in a shitter basically in this season. So once he goes further down, and then he obviously makes that suit transformation, I'm really excited to see what that's going to bring about, especially these guys are in tow, and how they react to the decisions he's making in that new stage of his life. So I'm choosing to be really, really excited and positive, optimistic about this one. I'm sure that I can tell you right now that Jessica Jones and Luke Cage are gonna bring it. We just gonna have to see about Iron Fist, bro. Just gonna have to see. That's a wait and see when it comes to that. I will say that Daredevil, just to show Daredevil and what it's known for, is going to require that martial arts and hand-to-hand combat to be more believable than it's probably ever been. Just in the nature of the show and how the show is shot and how we know the show. There was even a couple hallway scenes in this season alone. Like there's quite a few hand-to-hand combat scenarios that can be had just with him and Daredevil being in tow. So really excited about that as well. I'm hopeful that he gets this second chance to really embody this character, because this is your chance to get that to hop into the big screen. If you don't hit this, bro,
Yeah.
You're getting smoked, and we're going to get the Asian Iron Fist, and that's it. You're done, bro.
Mm-hmm. If you don't, that's the thing is like hopefully they focus on it. I hope there's, and I said this, bro, like the whole New York undercover. Don't blew that shit. Don't do that whole news. Please, second season.
I think it's going to be too much in the way to do that.
Yeah,
you have Jessica Jones' character. We also have to remember, like, those characters got to be reestablished in the MCU. So there's going to be some familiar trappings that we know of the show. They're not going to get rid of everything, but there is like a process of, for lack of a better term, socialization and them being integrated into this new universe that I think that's going to take quite a few episodes. Like how Prop said, they're going to really stretch this out because I think that's what the characters deserve, is the stretch out, is the rollout. So if any of them get smoked going up against Kingpin, we gonna feel it, rather than, oh damn, they was on 2 episodes and they went and got smoked. Like, oh damn, like I think that's probably the route they're going to go with it. So I'm excited to see that. New York City is on 10 and it needs heroes right now. So we'll see what happens.
Vinny, you think they should let Jessica Jones fly?
No.
Exactly. Please don't. And the only reason why I mention that is because, again, 2 things that haven't necessarily been explained yet, and I think that they're just deviating from it, is how we went from the overly powered Wilson Fisk and Hawkeye to where we're seeing now. You know what I mean? And nobody, and again, he hasn't really done much. So for all we know, he still might be that strong.
He did crush a man's head with
He did crush his skull, so we saw that. But I'm just hoping
super strength.
Negro palm made out of adamantium.
Yeah,
he can use her super strength, but I don't want to see her flying. She don't even like flying in the comics. Like
she doesn't like it at all.
It's part of her character. Like she only uses her powers absolutely necessary because she hates being a superhero. She don't want it. That is integral to her character. If they throw this bitch in spandex to have her flying around, that's a mistake.
Nah, hear me out. She gets bit by a radioactive spider, right? And then she says, "You know what? My actual last name isn't Jones, it's Drew." Boom.
There you go. Yeah, I mean,
Miss said, yeah.
Bro, I mean, hold on. It's almost midnight. Yo, the booty ain't fat enough, fam.
I don't. That's why people joking. I ain't got my camera going, but that was cheek, tongue in cheek like a motherfucker.
I mean, hey, well, look, I'm excited about it. I'm excited to see the Defenders come back, man, because I would love to see it. If it's done right. Finn, good luck. Good luck. That's all I got to say. And give him
the mask. It's so fucking simple.
Put
the fucking mask on for his fight scenes and
give him both his hands.
I don't need him to fight. That's fine.
Yeah.
Put the stunt double in when it's time to go. Tag, you're in, motherfucker.
Yeah.
He's not going to be able to do it, dog. He ain't going to be. Because I felt like the Defenders, they already caught the criticism before they did Defenders, and they still let him go out there with
Yeah, you're
stunt
right.
double.
They was hating on Iron Fist way before Defenders, and Defenders they still had him fighting without the mask.
Yeah. Give him the mask, bro. Just give him the mask and give him both his hands. But that's it. The mask and both hands.
None of the fucking bullet shit.
Yeah, that's the truth. None of this
he's not
bullshit.
Ghost Rider. He's not Ghost Rider. He don't turn whatever he's touching into flaming fist things.
Hey, let's take a moment. Let's just take a moment and look at the picture right here that Leo posted of them. I mean, he looked like he's about to get his ass kicked right now.
He looked like he's about to substitute teach.
It didn't tell on you. He said substitute.
Not teach.
I'm fucking weak.
He looked like he's about to tell on somebody right now, son.
About to
He's like about to substitute teach. I mean, yeah. I think we are basically there, bro.
Ghetto Yoda. Finn looked like he got his martial arts off Prop Wiz eBay account. Y'all are comedians, bro.
Yeah. Yo, that's fucked up.
Hey, as long as you blame the account and not me.
Oh, shit.
Yo, get the fuck out of here, bro. Oh man, come on, man. That get on his ass for that, man. Yeah, Cornelius, he definitely didn't take the role serious. But maybe he did take it serious, but the writers didn't take it as serious. So it could have been.
Every single other
no.
person
They
on the
reported.
show knew martial arts.
Yeah.
Everybody on there was extras doing praying mantis. There was extras doing praying mantis.
Yeah.
Bro, hey,
there
Charlie
was mantis
Cox
on this show.
Charlie Cox didn't know martial arts. You know what I'm saying? Like he went in there and took his role. It was taking it seriously, yo.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like,
and
if
then
you
there was
take
reports
outside
that
of Finn. If you watch that first season of Iron Fist, everything outside of Finn is a martial artist love letter. Like I am a huge martial artist. There are so many amazing martial. Colleen was killing it. All the
Colleen
extras were
Williams
killing it.
and shit.
Everybody on that
Yeah.
show was putting in work. Like it's almost like that. Yemu Ping direct everybody else, and they had like the Y directing Finn.
Yeah. It's like they had everybody else directing, and they let Steven Seagal come in and teach him how to.
Pretty much.
They said, Steve, you were successful in the 80s, bro. Come in and just help your boy out real quick. Give him a couple pushes, bro. Go ahead, Steve, do your thing, bro. Like, yeah, that's what it felt like.
You don't even have to kick, yo.
You have to do nothing, Steve. Just go ahead and do what you got to do. He said, I remember someone saying,
that's true.
About the training with Colleen. He
didn't want to put long hours in. It was something like that. You know what I mean? Like he did some training, but he didn't do the extensive training that someone would do.
I think
in prep.
Social media stepped in and they lit your ass up. So hopefully you take it serious and you prep. And that's only if, because like I said, right now it isn't set in stone. We'll get more as it comes. So it's just like
I love how he was crying on social media. Just give me a chance. Like he ain't have 3.
Yeah.
You had a chance, bro. You had a chance. Like sometimes you got to take this chance from where it go. If you're given the opportunity, take it from where it go. If you can't do it, if you can't complete it, that's not on anybody else's ass but you. So you gotta think about that. Anyway, man, I want to move on to this right here real quick. Again, I'm bringing this up specifically because we are entering that age to whereas what the MCU is stating is that after this whole run with the Doomsday and also what we're actually getting with Secret Wars, we're going into that next phase, which is strictly the X-Men phase. And Kevin Feige did say that. And here's the one thing that he said that I'm like, it didn't surprise me that he would say it, but I think it comes to the point where now Kevin Feige will say things, and it's almost like as soon as he gets off of social media, or not at social media, but when he's at these press junkets, it's like as soon as he's done with the interview, it's like Marvel calls him. It's like, yeah, I don't think you should have said that. Like you should have said that. Like that's not what we're doing. So don't fill false hopes. You can make your own assumption of what it should be, or you can say that, but you can, if you put that out there, we don't want people to give people a negative impression or have them thinking that we're going to do certain things that we won't do, because what Kevin is saying is that there's so many stories that are basically that can be and should be told within the X-Men medium that they want to actually keep it separate right now once it gets to going from the cinematic universe or from the main Marvel universe. They want to, but right now we know that there's arguments between the suits and Kevin Feige on the direction that they want to take the X-Men, because they want a big box office draw where he's wanting to have that same draw, but he's also wanting to tell the depths of the story and everything that's there, like the meat of why they became
Pause.
why they basically became mutants, because I know somebody why they became mutants, and just the conflict, the constant conflicts. You already know, bro. Constant conflicts that they go through because they are different. He wants to tell those particular stories. So we'll see how that's gonna go. But I just thought, like, okay, cool. We've heard so many fan casting rumors as of late. One that actually came up here lately was that what is her name? I'm trying to basically get her name here. Yes. What is her name? This girl has been basically cast or is being cast as Kitty Pryde. So again, her name is Julia Butters. I think it's like I've seen her in certain films, but I don't know where I've seen her. Like, she looks familiar, and I was trying to basically look it up, but I don't know where I might have actually saw her. What film? Well, she's the up and coming teen. Oh, that's where we saw her. That's where we saw her. Once upon a time in Hollywood. She was the little girl that was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and this is her now. So she's all grown up. Now, here's the thing, though. If you've seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and you've seen her in that role when she was young, bro, she was feisty as fuck, and she played her ass off in that movie. One of the shining moments in that movie, and I love them. I love Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I love it, but I believe that she could play this role, and it is something that's possible. But this is only one thing that they're saying, that they're talking about, that she could, and she's up for the role. She's been approached, this, that, and the third. We've been hearing that shit way too many times. So I just thought it would be fun if we ourselves, if we were sitting at the table and we said, yo, fuck that, we're going to be the one to cast this movie. Fuck that, y'all give us the opportunity to do it. If y'all telling us to do it, this is who we would want to cast this movie. Or Burticus, right? I'm going to give you a character, and I want you to tell me, if you could pick any character, on the X-Men roster, who would it be, and who do you think should fulfill that role?
There's
You can't say Amber Heard, bro. She's already had a chance.
Hell no.
All right, go ahead.
There's a young man. There's a pairing. I forget his name. I'll probably mess it up. I think his name is Lewis Holt.
Is it Lewis?
I think his name is. He looks like Scott Summers. I had to go back. It was one of my favorite YouTubers, Nando's movies. He kind of goes over a couple of those castings, and a couple of them are like, yeah, that's spot on. There's a couple. There's him, this Lewis guy, I think, and there's this other chick that looks like it could be Jean Grey, and I forget their names, so forgive me, but those are the two that I really would want to go for, is getting that couple established. Obviously, I know other people probably would go with like Magneto and stuff like that, but we're talking about like X-Men. I need that team. The team kind of revolves around those two. Like everything else happens because of those two. Wolverine will happen. We'll figure that out. But those are the two I probably would. If you say I couldn't do anything with Magneto and Professor X, these are the two people I would move on to: is Scott Summers and Jean Grey. Got to have those right. If the team itself, the team of mutants, are going to have that, that gravitas and that weight. It's an opera, and it's a love story alongside of a superhero story, a grandiose superhero story. There's so many themes in X-Men, but one of the themes that carry the team itself specifically are love and their bonds and their relationships to each other. So to me, I would have to do the first two would be Jean Grey and Scott Summers. And everything else I think would melt in because it'd be a little bit easier from there.
Now, of course, we've heard these rumors before.
That's the guy. I forget his name though.
His last name is, I think, is Dickens or something.
Yeah, Dickens. Yeah, that guy. That's him. That's the one I saw. Yeah. He
yeah,
looks like Scott.
yeah. So this has definitely been, Harris Dickens. That's his name.
Harris Dickens, exactly. Yep.
Yeah. So he's been the one that again has been up. So we know the two, but now the thing is about Sadie Shanks, though, I don't. From what they're saying and the rumors that they're spreading about her in Spider-Man, doesn't have a connection to Jean Grey. So it seems like the Jean Grey character might still be up in the air in a sense.
Yeah.
So that might be a character that's still undecided of who could portray that role.
Everybody's like, "Oh man, who's the redhead?" You don't have to find a redhead, bro.
Yeah, you can find anybody who's you know what I mean,
act it. That's all you have
and
to do.
make her die. They've done it before, so it's just what we would have to definitely see. Vinny, I'm gonna go to you, bro. If you had to cast anybody, on the X-Men roster, who would it be? What character would it be, and who would you see playing that role?
Wolverine.
Yeah,
Matt
Wolverine,
Wood.
bro. Huh?
Matt Wood for Wolverine.
Matt Wood.
Mm-hmm.
You said Matt Wood for Wolverine.
Yes, sir.
What movie was he in, bro?
He's a voice actor and hockey player who's just getting into Hollywood. And they had a recent picture of him. I seen.
Oh, he played in Saturday Night. He was in that. He played John Belushi.
Yep. And that motherfucker is Wolverine. Like, I'm gonna send you a picture of him on stage with a bunch of people, and that is, it's insane how much he looks like him.
Hold on, because somebody shared this one as well. I know what you're talking about because I had him here.
Where's he at? There's a picture of him on stage I wanted to show. Hold on. I just had it.
Jonathan Majors for Mr. Sinister. Boom.
Somebody brought this dude up.
All right, I just sent you the picture of him on stage, and oh my god, yo, that's Wolverine.
So Matt Wood, because there has been, people who, have been talking about this dude.
I seen Milo Gibson thrown around, Mel Gibson's son. He kind of looks like him too. He's like 5'9", but Matt Wood is like his actual height. He's like 5'4", 5'5".
This is him right here.
Oh,
Yeah,
sure.
look at that.
Yeah.
That's Wolverine.
Damn, bro, I didn't know he was that short for real.
Yeah. He can do it.
Yeah.
He would just have to get in shape, of course.
What in the
But
Fellowship?
he's a ex-hockey player, so
Mm.
sure he could. He could. I also like people throwing around Mark Strong as Professor X. I like that too.
Mark Strong. Well, that was one that was definitely mentioned. That I think because somebody I gotta find it. I gotta go back and find it.
Because I'm tired of Mark Strong being wasted. He's one of the greatest
Bro.
underutilized comic book act. Like Sinestro still don't sit right with my soul.
Yo, I was so excited about Sinestro, and that movie had to suck, but I thought he did a good job, yo.
Yeah.
The potential was there.
Yep.
Yeah, there were Mark Strong was definitely one of the names that was thrown around. Of course. We know he could because he can do anything. He can do anything. He can play anything, any role you give him. The man is just talented in general. You know what I mean? So it would definitely be believable. You know what I mean? Him as Professor X. I could actually see that. Yeah.
He actually could probably actually do both.
Prop, what you think, bro?
Bro, Magneto, man. I think I like Jeremy Irons.
That's cool.
Jeremy Irons.
I think Jeremy Irons is just somebody else, man.
I heard Viggo.
Prop. Go look up for Magneto. Go look up Jason Isaacs. He's on the White Lotus right now. Go look him up.
No, Jason. So I've seen that. I've heard those. He can do good on the last season, right? With the one that had the family. Yeah, dude.
You said Jason
Isaacs. Here's where I'm
Jason Isaacs. Yeah.
Where I'm mixed at, right? Like I'm saying Jeremy Irons. I was thinking, I've heard, because I've heard this isn't coming from me. Daniel Day-Lewis was a name that was like, I could see. So those are on the older side. I'm still in that group where I want him to be as close to the Holocaust as possible, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like I'm worried. We're at that stage now where the age.
Yeah, motherfuckers is even doing a mock-up already of this dude.
Oh, for real?
Oh man. Bro, look at this.
And he's intense, yo. Yeah. Yeah,
Isaacs. He's got the face. He's got
dog. I could go for that. I can go for
Jason Isaacs in that role.
Yeah. I go for
that.
He
wasn't he what's the name's father on Harry Potter? He was
yes, I forgot.
Bro, yeah.
Okay. He was Draco's father.
Yeah, Draco's dad. Yeah. So I mean, yeah. You know what? It's crazy because I talked about this a long time ago, but he's from
the UK, bro. Like this is such a
yeah. I mean, he could do it. I mean, again, like if he wanted to do it. Oh, this right here is pretty dope as well. This is definitely pretty dope. Look at this.
Yeah.
Bro.
And he's on the younger end of that. You know what I'm saying? Like I've heard his name. Again, it's just like I still feel like he should be older only because of that history being connected to the Holocaust. You know what I'm saying? But somebody said tell X-Men story closer to the 1970s. But yeah, I guess that's too, depending on when they start this. But they already did the thing when they went back, right? When they rebooted it, they took it back in the day, 70s, late 70s, 80s.
Mm-hmm.
So
Fantastic Four is kind of doing that right now, so you'd be cramping so many styles.
Y'all hear about Viggo as Magneto? Viggo Mortensen?
Yep. I seen that too. Yeah. I seen that too.
So my fan pick, obviously, and I'm sticking with this, and because she talked about it, and I put this up the other day, is Sharon Duncan. I think I'm stuck there right now.
Oh my god, yeah, for sure. 100%.
I'm stuck here, bro. I'm seriously stuck here. Sharon Duncan as Storm, because again, everyone.
Damn, she overtook Jodie in your eyes, bro. I think Jodie gonna get it.
Yeah, she did. I'm gonna tell you why. She overtook Jodie, bro. And because here's the thing though. I spoke about Sharon Duncan before. I actually spoke about her on a video when I did a video of casting of Storm and who I thought could be. And I was like, I mentioned Sharon Duncan's name because I was like, yo, her portrayal in Dune. Also, she was in Rogue One. You know what I mean? So Sharon Duncan Brewster, bro, I love this woman, bro. And I think that she would be dope. Super dope as Storm because she has such amazing presence, bro. She does. And if you see her now, if you hear her now, bro, I think she's amazing. I think she would definitely be a top pick, in my opinion, to play it. Because here's the thing, bro. Jodie Turner, yeah, she's cool, and I give her that, bro. But as far as like the physicality and the power, just the sheer power and strength, I mean, I'm just going with Sharon, bro, because I think she's dope. And she demands, that, on screen.
Wait a minute, Cornelius. Really? He said,
no, I just read that too.
And Jodie on the same set. I think her ex-husband was cheating with Lupita. Oh, wait a minute.
Well, she said you can't have what? Lupita?
It's spicy. Oh,
that's
no.
Right, because I think they're together right now. Or unless they broke up. But yeah, that's true. You can't have Jodie on the same because unless they won't have her on the same. You know what I mean? But you can't put her in Wakanda, bro. You definitely can't do that.
Just don't let any of the Fox execs like near the casting director because they'll cast Lord London or somebody.
Yeah.
Oh Lord, have mercy.
They got the color palette like nah.
Bro, I mean, I'm just calling for Sharon, bro, because I think she's dope. The strength is there, bro. Like she just has that swagger, bro. Like she definitely has everything and what it takes. Now, here's the only problem is because when we're looking at this, it also depends on how Marvel goes about making sure that because here's the thing, we know that they're going for these 12-year deals, 6-year contracts with these particular characters if they're trying to basically tell multiple stories. So we know that they're going to probably go with someone younger. So again, and with Sharon, I think she's in her 40s right now. I think she's like 41, 40 or 41 right now. You know what I mean? So, that's the thing.
Especially because T'Challa right now is like 12.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So, yeah, right now it is. But see, it's not only just looking like Jodie though, bro, because again, there is Jodie, but then also there's our girls in the conversation as well. You know what I mean? And she's there. She's in that conversation. But I think she also has just turned 40. Or is it on the way to 40 years old?
Too. She wasn't in. What's this from? This ain't from a Marvel movie?
Jurassic Park.
No, this was Jurassic.
Oh, Jurassic Park. Okay.
Dominion. Jurassic Park Dominion. Yeah. So, she's up. But again, I just feel as though they're going to go with, and if they do decide to go with somebody younger, Joe, I don't know how old Jodie is right now. Let me see here.
Go ahead and get my girl Kiki in there. She ain't that much older than me, bro.
Who?
My girl Kiki Lane in there.
Kiki Lane.
Go ahead. She just got done with the old guard. Go ahead and get my girl. Marvel call.
Oh yeah, she just got done with old guard too, right?
Yep.
Let me see her. What's her name? I want to bring her up and I want to see.
Jodie's got the face for it, bro. Like I see.
She does,
there, bro.
She definitely does, but also, okay. So if they go, and I want to bring this in here, if they go with somebody younger, right? Because this girl's only 27 years old. She's 27, and I believe that's around a good age.
I love this chick. That's my girl from Acolyte, right?
No, well she's. But I'm talking about this girl right here. I'm talking about our girl from Sinners, bro. Yo, she's only 27 years old.
Yeah,
She's 27 years old, and we talking about Jamie Lawson. She can probably play. She could definitely pull off Storm, bro.
Yeah, she could.
She could definitely pull off Storm, bro. And she's only 27 years old, which means that she can have like those multiple deals. They can do it. I think she can pull off young. She has that young look, which is crazy because same girl who basically played the mayor, I think, or was it the mayor or the governor? It was the mayor in the Batman. It was her.
Right. You're right.
You know what I mean? So It was like, wow, but they can pull it off. So again,
didn't even put those two and two together till now, bro.
Me neither. Yes, but it's
till now, bro.
Yeah,
I'm so focused on homeboy not letting her go wipe it off first. I didn't even think about all that.
Yeah.
Now you get it.
You stupid,
girl
bro.
said I had walked.
So stupid, bro. You're stupid. Colossus, and here, but also, so we don't even know which era they're going to go with. If it's going to be first class, or if it's going to be the roster that was developed after the first class when they thought that whole Krakoa island swallowed them up. So we don't know what they're gonna go with. That's Vinny. I know. This is what I'm saying. It's impossible because right now, again, they're still.
They ain't going with none of them. They're going with their own shit. They're going with their own.
We're gonna mix it up, man. This is modern Marvel, bro. We was talking about it earlier.
But you hear what Bo DeMille said about Feige's X-Men shit?
No,
I hate to say it, but I believe him, yo.
What is it?
That he had nothing to do with the shit that is that he did with X-Men 97, and that that's part of why everything is going on, because he's embarrassed because that's not not going to, that live action ain't going to live up to what they were doing.
Mm. That sounds about right. That sounds about.
Is it a little unfair because they can do so much more in that medium? Like there's a little bit of grace in that I'm willing to extend, not too much, just knowing that it's a cartoon. They can lend more to it. That won't give them an excuse or anything.
No doubt. I definitely get what you're saying there. However, the thought process of the effort, I doubt will be there with the live action.
Right. And I think that's
obviously there's going to be more limitations. You're not going to be able to do what they did in '97 in a live action, like no doubt. It wouldn't even make sense because you had to give the cartoon had the luxury of assuming the fans knew a good deal about the X-Men, and the live action will not have that luxury. They'll have to explain shit for the first time to casual, to fans, whereas the cartoon was just using shit straight out of the comics, assuming you already knew everything about the comics. So they won't be able to do that. Like there wasn't even any really origin stories for any of those characters. They just assumed you already knew who everybody was. Let's get to the point.
Oh.
But the passion and the love for that source material and those characters' backgrounds going into all those stories was undeniable. And I don't think that I can just count on half of that source material and passion being there in live action. And it breaks my heart to say that is how it's gonna. I think it's gonna go, but with Fantastic Four, we already see a lot of changes, and there's just fucking a handful of elements. With X-Men, there's hundreds, and there's so many different iterations, and I don't feel like I don't trust that they have a good figure on the pulse of what the general X-Men fan base wants to see the focus on. And I feel like even if they did, they have the unfortunate problem that they've already made so many X-Men films that Disney and Marvel are going to have this really ridiculous problem that they're going to feel like they can't do any of the shit that was done before, so that they're different. So in that respect, they're going to lose a lot of the magic of what makes X-Men trying to be different than the Fox films instead of just doing it better. So they're going to try to have their cake.
They have to commit to the redo.
They have to. You can't you can't on one hand be handcuffed to these fucking Fox legacy characters and use them over and over.
That's
and
it, man.
Goodbye 17 times, and then on the other hand, be like, oh, we can't do the Phoenix Saga, we can't do Magneto, we can't do First Class, we can't do Auschwitz, we can't do any of those things because Fox already did them. So it's like we can't do Days of Future Past because Fox already did. Like we can't do any of those stories now because Fox already did them. But yet, so you're gonna go a whole nother direction, and yet at the same time keep using those other characters over and over, and setting up the new generation. I have so little faith that they have a play or an angle. I think that that's why we haven't seen anything yet. It's because I don't think they know exactly how to do it. I think it's like the dog that caught a car. They don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
So you are saying that there is a chance
of what? That it might be good?
I don't know.
It might be good. I feel like we're going to be desperate for amazing new X-Men content in-house at Marvel Studios that I feel like we're going to enjoy a lot of what we see because we're just excited to get the new shit. But I feel like I feel like whatever they do is going to be a mess at first.
Nah, man, this is too much, yo. If they're trying to do what, because I almost feel like they're where DC was when DC was trying to catch up with Marvel.
That's the thing. They're not going to just start off with 6 members. They're not going to just start off with 6 members and then grow it. They're going to feel like they got to put 50 members in so that way they can please all the people who are fan of. Oh, we got to make sure the Zorn fans are happy. We got to make sure Chamber fans. We got to make sure Blob is in there. Like they're gonna feel like they have to have all the niche characters. And then look at the past 3 or 4 or 5 even X-Men films where they poured dozens and dozens of characters in those films with no lines, thrown like Sunspot, Bishop in it for 5 seconds and killed off or written out just to like say, oh, they were in it. Like they're not going to. I mean, and that's really what's going on with the comics too. Like you don't see like back in the 90s. Think about the 90s, like when it was the hottest, there was a rotation of maybe 15 to 20 at the max characters between all X-Men books. Now there's hundreds that they have to try to keep interesting.
Yeah.
That's true, man. Again, it is a wait and see. Unfortunately, right now, well, we have to kind of wait and see where they're going to go, what team they're going to go with. I mean, there's so many daggone casting rumors. Your boy, like I said, right now, that was, rumored to be playing Hank McCoy. Of course, Cat, who's currently married to Kirsten Dunst. And I didn't even realize that this is the same kid who played in Like Mike. He was,
bro. He been acting his ass off. He been acting as long as I've been alive.
Yeah, bro.
I watched him almost in everything.
He's been acting
Like
for
Mike
years
in the theaters, bro.
Yep, and that's him, bro. I didn't even realize that, but yeah, like he's been acting for years. I mean, even if you just saw him in
He's
Civil
to me
War,
like what that kid like
War.
Beans is in Sandlot to y'all.
Yeah,
When y'all see him out in the public walking around, he an adult, like you're like, bro, you're a child.
No disrespect, but who is that rogue actress fan cast?
Margaret Qualley.
Margaret Qualley. She's the one who was in The Substance. She was also in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Like she's been making her rounds. Put it that way.
Nah.
Yeah, but she ain't got the yams. I'm gonna tell you right now, extremely beautiful. But when she get on that suit, she gonna need an incredible amount of padding.
Yeah, I mean, like the padding she had in the film, right?
What in
yeah, that
Substance?
wasn't her. That wasn't her.
In The Substance?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm again, like Margaret Qualley is Rogue. I don't see it. I honestly, that's the only thing I don't see.
Like Marilyn Manson.
You know what I mean? Like I definitely don't see that.
I think she can hit the personality in terms of her performance and what she's able to do. She can probably hit the personality, but
yeah,
like when it comes to the X-Men, it's got to be personality and look. Like it's gotta go in tandem. Like we have to be able to see them and believe it.
Bro.
Like that was the problem with a lot of people with The Last of Us. They can't.
Exactly. Yeah,
they can't see Ellie, and it's hard for them. Like it's not. They're not being a dick. They're not being disrespectful on social media. They're just looking at it and it's like, I can't see Ellie, and it's a problem.
Yeah. That's the thing. It's again, if you're gonna do these, you got to see the character. But here's the thing: you got to see the character, but also their personality has to translate through words as well. Like the script has to be on point. Because if you want to get behind these actors, the script has to bleed off into their souls, like literally take them over. We have to see that transformation. We have to basically see it happen. That honestly, like, I mean, I hate to beat a dead horse when it comes to this, but this is why we see people like Chadwick Boseman. We'll always say that he is Black Panther. He is the one that we see because it bled. He was the essence of that character. That's what we saw. That's what he became. Even Benjamin Cumberbatch, perfect choice.
I was about to say that, bro.
Perfect choice for Stephen Strange. You can't see anybody else playing the role.
Oh my God, boy,
Stephen Strange with him because he fucking killed it, bro.
See, now I know we share a birthday, bro.
Yeah, bro.
I was thinking that.
Robert Downey Jr. is Tony Stark.
Perfect. Yeah.
He was born to basically play that role. We know it. That's just basically who it is. You can't. These days it has to. You have to become these particular characters. You have to make it an essence. It's character study. It's doing the research. It's getting into the zeitgeist, the personality of that character. You have to do it. Like it's just a must. It can't just be looks. Yeah, you might look the role. And some of them may not look the role, but might have the acting prowess to pull it off and be like, oh shit, I see something in this person. They're doing a good job. But again, it's just a wait and see. Like we just don't fucking know right now. We don't know anything. That's why I was like, I thought it would be fun, to do something like this to kind of speak within that space. But I don't know who's this striker 47. I see what you're saying, but she could do the exercise. She got him yams, those cakes again. I mean, again, we just got to kind of wait. I mean, who else? Okay, who else? If we had to think about it, who else could play Rogue though? Like, who else could we get to play that role?
Man, it's so hard. Yeah.
Because again, like I said, like the direction that they're going is more younger. Like they're going to like that young range. So who else could we see playing that role? You know what I mean? Like who else could basically step up that we could place in that role and be like, oh, that person would be a dope Rogue.
That homegirl that's playing Lois Lane. God damn, we did stagger early enough.
What Allison Brie or whatever her name is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see it. She got the personality, the look. I can see it. You put that wig on. Yeah, let her go. She can do it. I would rather have somebody that at least, this is very specific, but at least has some Southern family.
That's what's missing,
Southern roots, because that is what's going to take the character from the page and paper and transcend it to film. Is that extra step? Obviously, if the person doesn't have it, it can be coached. I don't think it would be as special as somebody who innately has that understanding of Southern slang and Southern life culture. So that's the thing for me.
Yeah,
when it comes to Rogue. Has to be done. There has to be a Southern angle to it too.
So we've got, of course, Charlie's out there. He's saying Elizabeth Delu from Rogue. I mean, from Andor. She again. I haven't seen her. Again, that was her first role.
Yeah,
that was her first. Thing. So that was the only thing. Is it's like I haven't seen anything else. I'm not saying I don't have the confidence that she couldn't do it. I just don't know
the pocket she was in, and it doesn't fit for her. The pocket that she was in that show, the personality type fits more for Emma Frost than a Rogue.
She would, you know what? Even when I look at her, I see more of a Maura McTaggart.
Okay.
Honestly, I see more of the personality of a Maura. You know what I mean? A Rogue, I'm not saying that she couldn't. I mean, there's always a possibility.
Hell, if you want to do Destiny, bring her in. Shit, tell that whole story if you want to piss people off. But you never know.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, the I don't even want to go there because I already know how that. I don't even want to go down
that X-Men Blue was crazy.
Yeah, that was nutty. I don't know, man. It's right now. It's up in the air. We just got to kind of wait and see how this is going to work out, man. I mean, who knows? I guess we'll revisit this once we find out what direction that they're going to go. If they're going to go with the first class, if they're going to go with their own depiction of how they're going to put this team together, we just got to kind of wait and see, because they're saying that, and Kevin Feige has been saying that they're bleeding off. We're showing mutants, the mutant aspect. We have been building this up in different movies. I mean, if we wanted to basically go to Captain America Brave New World, there was a character in there that was supposed to be a mutant, but they changed her backstory and she was no longer a mutant. So we didn't get her in that film. Like, they completely switched the story. You already know what I'm talking about, Vinny. They changed that. Of course, we know with Fantastic Four, Franklin Richards, that's the mutant route that they can actually go there. We already know that. Doomsday, we don't know what they're going to do with that. Like, so they've been putting these little nuggets here, but again, it's all over the place. It's just all over the place. And I would much rather you not put those nuggets in these films and just completely disassociate them from what you're doing right now and just start with a clean slate.
Like you just throwing shit at the wall.
Yeah. Somebody said, what about Cavill for Mr. Sinister?
No, too big.
I don't think that boy want to get into any
for a diesel ass role.
He
Yeah.
can't
It's just
move his
saying
arms
you need to
anymore.
be a character-driven actor, not like. I mean, no.
I would say
Vinny
Mr.
said he
Simpson needs
can't.
somebody that gets lost in that makeup and you can't
Yeah.
tell. You need
Yeah,
somebody
yeah,
like
yeah.
I won't say because he's doing Penguin, but the job that Colin Farrell did in Penguin, where he like
Yeah.
you lost him
Yeah.
in the Penguin. Like you
Some-
need somebody like that gets lost.
Somebody that has full range of their arms, that their arms aren't so big. You know, they got to be able to move those arms.
yeah. I don't know. We gotta wait and see.
It can't be
It's definitely gonna be up in the air
the
right
camera.
now, man.
Yeah. I mean,
We just don't know.
he's like a coward. He never actually throws hands with the X-Men. Like, imagine Diesel as Henry Cavill. Like, oh no, the X-Men. Like, and then run away. Like,
yeah. Don't even need superpowers. It's like, okay, you win, bro.
yeah.
You got it.
It was a dope fight in Mission Impossible, though.
Oh yeah.
So he was moving.
He's
Ours
great.
is like,
but
I hear
not Mr. Sinister.
No,
Yeah, not for a Sinister-esque type.
he
of
can't pull off that fade. Come on now.
Yeah. That man do deserve a Marvel role, though. That boy been
Yeah.
putting in his work.
People
working
wanted
post.
Sentry, but Pullman got that one.
Yeah, Pullman.
I mean, Captain Britain would be too much on the nose. So I mean, he could definitely be a Hyperion, King Hyperion. He could do something like that. He's big enough. He would definitely be dope as a Hyperion. You know what I mean? So
if they get to that, which would be like fucking 20 years from now, if they were ever to get to that, right?
yeah.
And X-Men get transported, or they are in the middle of this Shi'ar battle, and they gotta fucking go on that planet to fight for themselves, and Jean Grey is dealing with that shit, and they gotta fight Henry Cavill. That's what it would be. Okay, all right, I'll be there for that. That's okay. Cavill
could play a gladiator though.
Gladiator would be fun.
Oh, really?
That's what I see. I can see him
play
doing
gladiator, bro.
Yeah.
He could definitely play gladiator, bro.
And then all you gotta do to stop him is like, yo, remember when they brought you in to be Superman again?
His confidence.
No,
you just take the confidence away.
You just do a headshot of The Rock. He gonna be like, ah.
Yeah.
There's confidence gone.
Yeah.
Fade into the ether. Ah.
Yep. Definitely, bro. Confidence is shut down at that point, bro. Yeah, bro. Anyway, thank you guys, man. Great. Well, look, we'll dive into Wonder Woman next week. Vinny, I don't know if you read it yet. Did you?
I ain't get a chance to pick it up yet.
Yeah.
Bro, we gotta dive into Ultimate Spider-Man. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god. That's all I gotta say about that one.
Yeah. We can, so we'll put that on the roster we'll put both on the roster for next week.
All right, cool.
Yeah, because we didn't talk about that the last issue before this one as well.
I read that last one. I had to pick up the new one, and I'll pick that up this weekend at the con probably. So
yeah, we'll definitely we'll do that. We'll definitely get into that next week. Both. I think we'll make it more centered around the stuff that we missed.
Jonathan Hickman can write my life.
Well, Jonathan Hickman, that's what I'm saying. When Hickman is on, he's on, bro. Without a whole bunch of exposition, he is on. He's on, and he's killing it right now.
It's June right now, and I'm about to start my Fantastic Four reading guide to get ready for the show. So
bro, you ain't ready
to dive into that because like we talked about, like that.
Yo,
that
Fantastic Four was right now
was how Hickman wrote that in Ultimates, right? That just that little quick montage of events of how it went fucking horrible for them. That really like hit me. I'm like, I want more of that. Like, if that's what he's doing and he's done with them and can do, like,
put it like this: from Hickman, where you're gonna be starting to now, there's no weak point for Fantastic Four. It's fire from Hickman till current.
Yeah,
that's one thing you don't hear people say. Yeah. Oh, I dropped the Fantastic Four. I pulled that from my pull list. You never hear. You might hear Daredevil. You for sure probably gonna hear Spider-Man, like a couple other things. But you never hear people saying, "Oh, I'll pull Fantastic Four from my pull list." Never, bro.
Yeah.
You're right. Like I've never heard that. People
Yeah.
keep it in their pool list because it's been consistent for years and years and years.
Yeah. Hickman is definitely on. The only thing where he where he just kind of let his pen run wild, bro, was with the whole Krakoan era, bro. He just let it run fucking wild. And it just became like, I hated reading those damn inserts, bro. I was like, man, just put this shit visually so I can see it, bro. Like, just put it.
He let it the little pretext. He loves that.
Bro. He loves the whole pretext, bro. And I was like, man, come on, bro. Like, stop. Stop doing this, man. Like,
especially for Spider-Man, I'd be skipping that. I know, bro. Let's go. That's how I'm like, let's go. Next page.
Yeah. Anyway, man, thank you guys, everybody out there for rocking with us, man. Ghetto Yoda says, I love that stuff, man. I love it too, but damn, like sometimes it gets confusing. And I think it gets more confusing when you have the bridge between what was going on and also the exposition between him and more Mac Tagger's life now that they've changed her origin. And I wish they would have never changed the origin, but they did, just to make it a plot point, a plot device. But again, it was a lot. It was a lot to digest. I followed it and I read it and I was like, all right, cool, I'm caught up. But again, it was just a lot. But definitely is on. Vinny, what you got going on, bro?
This weekend I am in Pittsburgh, Three Rivers Con. So if anybody's out there in the Pittsburgh area, come through, say what up. Excited for that show. That'll be the first time I'm running Pittsburgh. So looking forward to that this weekend. So this week we'll be just getting as much work done as possible. Just got some new prints finished up. Got some new pieces coming, and they'll be up on the site soon, if not before the con, then right after. And just looking forward to that one. That's a new show, so I'm excited for it. And then I get a little break because I don't have another show until latter July, and that's here at home in Hershey, and then Harrisburg in August. So I don't have to travel for a show until October. So that's good news to me. And so I'm excited for Pittsburgh coming up. And there's some movies I'll be missing. I'm out the loop. I miss Karate Kid. I'm probably gonna miss Ballerina. So after all this shit is done, I'm looking forward to catching up with some shit.
When is Ballerina? Is that this week?
This weekend.
About this week.
Yeah, man. It's just
bro.
So much shit, man.
Shit. Yeah.
Anime heads. If you are an anime head, check out Free Ren on Netflix. Shit's
Free Ren, REN.
Yeah. Okay. It's the one everybody's saying that should be solo leveling for anime of the year, and they have a point. It's incredible.
Is all the episodes available? Is a one episode a week?
It's I mean, all the episodes up to what they've released so far are all on Netflix right now. So
it's called Free Ren.
Yes, Free Ren was incredible, bro. It's beautiful.
Okay.
Beautiful. Yeah, that's about it. I gotta catch up on reading and shit too. I'm current on most of the books that I've been reading, but I'm behind on a couple, so I'll be trying to catch up. And but yeah, that's it for the most part.
Word. Again, remember Vincent Dunn Art. Go to his Instagram page. The link to his store is there, bro. You already know, man. We supporting that.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate it.
Definitely, man. Prop, what's going on with you, bro?
Nothing, man. Vinny mentioned, man, Ballerina, man. I'm looking forward to that. Me and my son is checking it out. We're gonna check it out Wednesday. They're showing it early, but I looked that little dude right in the eye and said, "I'm on 1/6 scale, man. Show on Wednesday nights." So we're gonna hit it up Thursday, man. Still check it out early. Yeah, man. But that's it, man. Prop Liz videos and lamping, chilling. You know how we do.
Appreciate that, bro. Thanks for being there.
That's
how we do, bro. You already know that, man. We definitely appreciate having you here, bro, as always. I'm not saying the name, bro.
Hey, that's
it. You can say proper, man. You might be able to get away with it. Just call him by the first name.
What's going on, bro?
Well, again, always a pleasure to be here with my brethren on this panel. Always a blessing to be here and drawing breath. So again, you guys know the rotation for me, Monday and Wednesday, and I also catch my family on Friday. I'm almost done with school. School's out, so
Yeah,
might be seeing me on Friday pretty soon. So really excited about that.
Yes.
But yes, so not much. We have quite a few things that happened for us, or a couple things that happened for us in 6 scale last night. So as the world turns,
Wednesday's
with
gonna be
Hot Toys,
crazy. Yeah.
we will get back at it on Wednesday. And talk about some of that good news that we saw, some of them good figures coming out, and the potential of those things. So really excited about that. Shout out to my man Bob Dylan. He is Mother Teresa in 6 scale. If there's ever one.
Yeah.
I was talking to him the other night because I was trying to find that Cammy, that that third party Cammy Street Fighter. I have a hard time finding that, and when I do find it, listen. When I do find it, it's like for like 400 fucking some odd dollars, bro. Not talking to him. He had bought it, but he ran out of space, so he gave his to Anthony. I'm like, damn. And he was like, I still have Ryu, man. And it's like, do you have a Ryu? I'm like, no. He's like, I'm gonna send it to you. So that's what's gonna be coming in this week is a Ryu courtesy of Bob Dylan. So I'm really excited about that. My man. Just the best, bro. So that's what I'm really excited about. Sideshow's slacking. Shit ain't coming out. Shit ain't dropping, bro. People getting waitlist conversions, but that's about it. That happened this week in terms of Sideshow.
Ain't nothing happening.
They hold on to shit because of the tariffs are still affecting them in terms of that, the stuff that they're getting overseas. So I'm sure they're gonna just one of these weeks they're just gonna hit everybody with boom, 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 boom.
This is
like I wasn't counting on that. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna be some people either canceling or shifting around because you guys want to stock up at the docks, then slap up with us a whole bunch of stuff. It's like that's
you
not
can't
working
do that
for your customers either.
You can't do that. You got to W that shit out, bro, because motherfuckers can't afford when you smack them. I didn't cancel so much with them motherfuckers already, bro. Like it's just nothing new to me right now.
The last 4 figures have hit me in times where I'm like, why now?
Yeah,
Hobie had to do some things for him. Star Killer. The only figure that came out smoothly was Superior Spider-Man because I said, can y'all just throw all my points on him? They're like, yeah, sure. And I was like, all right, yeah, when did that? But it was a few other figures that came my way this year that has taken a long time. Hell, that mall hasn't really shipped out to everybody. Everybody doesn't have the 2.0.
Oh, the
that hasn't shipped out to with the speeder. That hasn't shipped out to everybody. The Artisan Anakin hasn't shipped out to everybody. Motherfuckers still don't have that.
Ahsoka hasn't shipped out to everybody yet.
I'm still waiting. It says pre-release, and they still ain't charged me, bro. People have the first batch went out like 2 weeks ago. People started getting that. So it's like I don't know. Yeah, just keep your head on the swivel when it comes to Sideshow, man.
Yeah, so it is definitely worth waiting for the motherfuckers, bro. Because who knows? You just gotta wait and see. And when I'm fine with it right now because I'm still in the rebuilding stage. So you know,
I'm not in the sense
I ain't rushing nobody.
I'm not looking trying to get like purchases online, trying to look for good deals. Maybe that Cammy was one, but it wasn't a good deal. So I'm like, I'm not getting that. It's harder to make me budge than it used to be. You know, like right now it's just not the time.
It ain't. It's definitely not that time nor the place, especially in the space that we're in right now. So nope, they ain't happening. But yeah, man, appreciate it, bro. Thank you for coming through. As always, everybody out there, man. Of course, he already let you know we got, again, Say What Wednesday, Figure Flex Friday, Uncivilized Scoundrels Thursdays, I believe. I don't know if we're gonna do it this Thursday though. I'm not sure because you'll be away, Vinny. So
yeah, I'll be. If I'm not away, I'll be getting ready to go away.
Yeah, so we'll probably push it to the following week. Just give it a bit of a break. And we'll do it that way. But other than that, man, yeah, that's it. That's this whole thing. Unless there's basically a new figure that drops, you already know it's going to be an episode of The Corner, but we just got to wait and see, man. But other than that, I would like to thank everybody out there in the chat, everybody here on this panel. We had an incredible time, man. We'll be back for another deep discussion next week on the channel. Albertus, I know you're gonna say something, bro. I know you're gonna say something, bro. I know.
He saw me buffering.
I
He saw me
know
buffering.
you were gonna say something. That's why I
This is
stopped.
why in high school I wore glasses because people see me buffering and they be like, "Oh, you about to say some shit?"
You about
I'm
to
like,
say some
bro,
shit, bro.
I need you not to know it. Just experience.
Nope, you was about to say
Just
some shit. I was waiting.
experience.
Go on, say it, bro.
I'm just gonna say, man, y'all have a good night. Go ahead and bury that cock in her.
Oh, he's